What was that intro? Deadly. I did not watch it before. I actually sent it straight to Jake. Wow. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Go Live. He wanted to hear this. He wanted to hear. Hey, shut the fuck up. He wanted to hear the autotune, Deadly Headley, who graced us with this incredible intro. Thank you for that. Thank you for that, for getting us more ponies to get vexed.
There's some strategy there, bro. There's some strategy. See, what you do is you trigger the hardcore ponies as best as you can, as hard as you can, and then when they all announce themselves to you on Twitter, like that guy earlier, clopping their hooves, whinnying, you just mute him en masse. You know who I learned that from, don't you?
Who did you learn that from?
Mr. Colt Eastwood.
Yeah, he kills them with kindness. Yeah. Shout out to Colt. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Shout out to 200 of you already waiting. Sorry we're late. It's my fault. As always, timing is bad. But we're here. And we weren't here last week because I was away. And we've got a crazy week of multitude of topics as we head towards a very exciting time in gaming, and I'm sure we're going to get into it. You know the format now. If you're listening to us on Spotify and Apple and all of that stuff, hello. If you're watching us on Spotify, you can probably watch us because we have a video feed. But welcome to Go Live, the Saturday evening talk show where we talk about gaming with these lovely people I'm about to introduce and the co-host, Asa. How are you?
I'm brilliant. It has been ages. We were only missing 1 week, but it feels like so long ago that we've done one of these. And we haven't had Fonz on for ages, and obviously Deadly Headley's here for the first time, so looking forward to it.
It's going to be a fun show. If you haven't had Fonz gaming, come on, Fonz, really? It's been a while. It's been a while. Yeah. Emotional. Welcome back. How are you?
I'm really happy to be here. You know, I'm just full of positivity and light today. So you're going to get a great episode here.
Yeah, that's a lie. But not the great episode part. But come on, Fonz, we want you to be who you are. Don't you?
I'm always myself. You guys know. You know how it is.
I know.
I've already seen people boycott the show today because Fonz is on, and it's just like, hey, you know what? It's all good. If you can't handle an opinion, so be it. Stay away.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Let them cry. I don't give a shit. We here for the real conversations. We're not just going to, sugarcoat things. We're not known for that. You know that. That's why we get along so well.
That's why I'm a pony bot, and I've been one for years.
Pony bot. I'm going to redefine the definition of that stupid freaking word on this show, so make people realize. Let's do it. But before we do that, here's a gentleman who is just breaking puberty for the first time, second time. He has just ventured into manhood. It's a new content creator onto the scene who graces us with his presence, and we always want to give the new bright shining stars that we recognize from afar who are going to blossom into something special, like a supernova. It is Deadly Headley.
That was beautiful. Magical. Thank you for the intro, guys.
Welcome back. How are you? Well, not welcome back. Welcome for the first time.
I'm good.
Are you standing up, by the way?
I am standing up, yeah.
You're going to be standing up for the entire show. Well, good luck.
Probably. I may. So my desk is sit stand, so I might lower it. I might take a seat. But yeah, I'm good. Standing. I'm tall. I'm tall as fuck. So like standing's quite comfortable.
So am I.
Yeah, I can tell. I see the doorway. I see. Yeah, you're pretty tall.
Welcome, Deadly Headley. Before we get into the topics, and there's a lot to get into, new guests need to get a little bit. Tell the people, man. This is the opportunity. Tell the people, who are you? Who the fuck are you? Why are you here?
Am I? So my name is Deadly Headley. I am a new content creator. I started making content back in July of this year. My debut video was covering the FTC's loss in the ABK deal case, and it did really well. I've had a lot of love and a lot of support from the community. Since then, I've been making content as often as I can. Easier said than done when, you know, real life is real life, but I'm having an awesome time doing it, and it turns out I'm quite good at it.
Yeah, you really are, and you need to.
Yeah, you know what? He's one of the few new onto the scene content creators that I subscribed almost immediately right after the first video I saw from you. I knew you had something there, so I was like, yeah, I'm going to subscribe to this guy. So.
Thank you, man. If you want, we'll get into that a little bit later. We'll talk about how I do it and where I've been and stuff like that. But let's get into some topics. We should do that first.
He's worked for IGN for years, and he's about to expose them on this show.
That is not true. That is not true. I have
no. I'm just kidding.
IGN.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
No, I have a very special set of skills. But again, we'll talk about those later.
Oh man, shout out to you, man, and we'll definitely get into it. Thank you so much, and for the super chats as well. Danny Passion Official, thank you so much. He says GAAS Fallout teaser trailer looks great.
It does.
And Eric 80 with a $2 super chat. I'm a PC pony, which is probably the smart play. On that topic, Danny Passion Official, you all are correct. I just saw it just before the show started. I shared it in the WhatsApp group with us lot.
Yep. That's where I saw it.
What do you think of it? You think it was good?
I think it looks really promising. The only thing it has to do now is come at us with a great story. Like, if they deliver story on top of the way it looks and everything right now, I'm fine with it. But I do think that what you mentioned in the WhatsApp with us about it needing more of a darker tone or look to it, yeah. I think like, you know, if it had more of a sepia darker tone to the film, it probably would have set the stage a bit better for me.
Yeah,
but I'm good with it. It looks really, really promising.
It doesn't look bad at all. It actually looks good. But in terms of the aesthetic, I was hoping you had, like, I don't know if you've seen the movie Book of Eli, and that had like the post apocalyptic vibe really well. This one, it's like that modern day kind of film aesthetic. It seems super clean. And I just like, I want it to be a little bit gritty, but that's just a personal taste in terms of movie adaptations. I haven't seen many. I haven't seen The Last of Us. I haven't seen, which is supposed to be great. Even Twisted Metal, which I actually do. The problem is, here in the UK, you need a subscription to like Now TV or something, which hardly anyone has. So you don't get to see these unless I pirate it or get a sub service to something like that I will barely watch.
Patrick said, watch it in 480i. No, I don't want poor resolution. A darker image to the film would have been cool. I'm not hating on it at all. I think it looks really promising. Again, good story. With the way it looks now, man, that's going to be a great show.
Yeah. What about you, Asa? Have you seen the trailer? It just came out.
I've seen some pictures of it. That's about it. So I'm not a big Fallout person though, really.
Yeah, I just started playing just a few months before Starfield came out, the Fallout 4. I never completed a Fallout game.
Really?
I think I'll go back and complete Fallout 4. The reason why I didn't complete, I played a lot on the 360, but I just never got around to completing it. I like the vibe, and I like post-apocalyptic stuff, although the 50 stuff is a good, nice, whatever, thematically quite intriguing. But it might be, this is something that looks really good. Compared to, say, Halo, which actually got a teaser for season 2 released today, I think.
It did.
Which looks interesting, actually. That actually looks pretty interesting. I saw that. I'll have to, again, somehow, I don't know, download it.
Who is the director of this Fallout series, by the way?
The guy who did something big. What was it?
What was it? I'm sure somebody can say it out there, but it was something that I thought that was pretty good. The Boys. Yeah.
Boys. And another one, more than The Boys, it was something else that was quite appropriate. Westworld, that's it. Thank you, Harry. Westworld. So yeah, like it looks good. What? Oh shit, we've lost Deadly already. He must have done
said,
it.
I'm out.
That's it. I can't take any more. There's too much critique here. Boom. Yeah, Westworld. So it does look good. The Halo teaser actually made me want to go watch the first season, even though I'm.
You know what I just thought about, GAAS? You just saying, oh, there's too much critique here. Things like this do get the fan base riled up just by saying, yeah, that looks good, but hopefully they deliver on this. They're like, there should be no buts. How dare you?
Oh man,
this is an Xbox IP. It's good no matter what they do. You know, there's people out there that'll be like that. It's like, man, nobody's saying it's bad. Relax.
I've given up on people who
you can't have civil discourse anymore without people getting so upset.
All the time. We saw that with the Xbox tax thing. I just thought that was fucking ridiculous. And I just feel like that's this weird defensive mentality is just weird. But fuck it, who cares, man? We're not here to massage their anus. It's for us to talk the way
Definitely
we
not.
are. Yeah, like just fuck it. And hopefully people in the audience that we've garnered for the most part will enjoy that.
I love my subscribers.
I appreciate that. Absolutely. We love our members and subscribers as well. You guys who will watch it here can probably glean that despite me being a bot and my stupid and incendiary antics and strong opinions, obviously, that can be grating for a lot of people, we still invite all kinds of discourse. We need to get some ponies here soon as well. Deadly, what happened? Did you close your browser by mistake?
I fucked up. I was trying to help somebody out and Googled the director for the Fallout TV show, and instead of hitting Control T, I hit Control R.
Reload.
It happens.
Oh, shit.
Welcome to live streaming, my friend.
This is professional podcasting, ladies and gentlemen.
It happens once. You get one.
You get one try. That's it. Don't make it his life difficult. So before we get into you, Deadly, about what your views are, Sith Lord with a $2 super. Shout out to Sith, man. He's such a nice guy. Fonz, my man. I need my weekend sauce. You're about to get it, especially from Fonz.
Yeah, straight up. Sith is one of the best supporters out there, man. He supports so many shows and great guy.
Always positive as well. I'm convinced he does hard drugs. Daddy Passion Official with $2 super chat. Jonathan Nolan, The Dark Knight, Interstellar. Oh, shit. Those are big names. I didn't like. Those are big, and the quality shows. What did you think, Deadly? Have you seen the trailer for Fallout, the TV series?
Yeah. So I gave it a quick watch earlier. I'm excited for it. I think obviously Halo was had a very mixed response. I thought The Last of Us was fantastic. I thought that was a great show, and I really do think that hopefully Fallout's got that weight behind it and some of the learnings from when other people have tried to do TV adaptations. Because let's be honest, it's notoriously difficult, and people have blundered it several times before. But I'm looking forward to Fallout. I think it'll be good. I liked Fallout 4. I didn't play it for the first time until actually just before. No, I had played it. Before. But I picked it up before Starfield came out because I wanted to get that kind of that Bethesda-ness in my life while I was waiting for Starfield. And I enjoyed Fallout 4. So yeah, let's see what a TV adaptation can do.
Yeah, it does look positive. I mean, it's just like it's playing right now, and I do like the more sepia. You know, you mentioned that Fonz, like the sepia tone is what immediately kind of comes. And there are scenes like that. In terms of the color grading, they have those kind of.
The
tones.
desert is automatically like
desert.
Let me give that off.
Absolutely, the desert tone in terms of color correction, having that orange and contrast with the blue is quite standard kind of look in cinema, and it's really nice. There's very strong contrast there, but then there's bits here where the Brotherhood
looks pretty cool right there. You see the
CGI isn't that bad. Yeah, the CGI isn't
really
bad.
Good, man.
Yeah, and it's very high quality generally, which I'm pleasantly. Some of the CGI with the suits when they were walking in as a group wasn't that great. Like it comes there, it's like, but it generally just looks really good. Now it boils down to the story, like you say. It just
question on the story though. So when you have like the Halo TV series and everyone was mad that they didn't follow the story, and you've got the Last of Us TV series where everyone was really pleased that they pretty much did beat for beat follow the story. Fallout doesn't really have a story that you can follow beat for beat, does it? Is it's more of a setting or?
Yeah. Okay.
So what are you hoping they do with it?
It's more of a setting for sure. That post-apocalyptic setting. But what I'm referring to is in story. Hopefully they have a good story within each of the actors on the show. Hopefully they have compelling backgrounds. They make you, think, they have some good twists here and there. That's what I want to see from the show.
Is the story of the games open enough that they can't really fuck it up? Because Halo, they fucked it up by kind of treading on a story that people love.
You know what? It's more open than Halo. Way more open than Halo, for sure. For sure. I being a fan of Fallout, the series, I'm really excited for this one. I wasn't too excited for the Halo series, even though I did like Halo back in the day. Series on it just didn't really entice me. But this does, because I love post-apocalyptic movies, TV shows, that sort of thing. That's my jam. I love it.
Yeah. No, I think that's a good question. I was just kind of wondering that.
It is. Asa always comes with the good questions, man.
Even though you didn't even watch the trailer. And that's a good question, because what are you expecting? I think that there's a big problem, well, not problem, but challenge for, not developers, but directors, when they do these game adaptations, that they have to balance pacifying the hardcore fans and doing the lore justice, which can creatively stifle them, or they feel like they're creatively stifled off the bat. Whereas with Fallout, I think they'll have a checklist of things that it seems like they've kind of hit here. They've got obviously the suits, they've got the vaults, the armor suits, the vault suits. You've got the fucked up face guy, cowboy guy. You've got the Brotherhood there. You've got the nuke being fired out. The dog even being there. It's even a hardcore Fallout. Like Colt Eastwood is a huge Fallout fan, and he's really happy with the trailer. He's like, this looks really good. In terms of like the visual side, I think it should be good. And then because of that, the fact that it hasn't got those strong story. They're not held to a specific storyline, and I think that because it's so open, there's a lot that they can write here that could be incredible. Even they can do some really good stuff with this show. I personally, I'm excited for it. After seeing that, are they doing this though? Because Sony had a clear mandate that they want to go into TV on almost every IP. Well, but Microsoft is what? Are they hoping that they build an affinity with this IP, and then they can then lead up to Fallout, which we know is that the next game?
Not necessarily. I think that it's about money, man. It's about making money anywhere they can, and they're just spreading it out there. And Fallout is a good IP to really push out there in different genres of media. I think a TV show is fantastic for the Fallout series. I think way better than even Halo, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, absolutely, it can be. I think Halo could have been absolutely incredible.
Again, you're held by that Halo lore and that Halo story, and when they deviated from that, it pissed a lot of people off.
And rightly so, because it's just stupid. I hope that the new team does do something with a story that's cogent and clear and committed, so that when they do videos,
you said doo-doo.
Doo-doo, yeah. Doo-doo. I got a doo-doo in my butt. Quicksilver, a member for 5 months, says Halo hit rock bottom, but dare I say it, there seems to be some light at the end of the tunnel now. Hopefully upward trajectory. Fallout looks good. That music. Quicksilver, there seems to be definite resurgence. And this week, Halo overtook something this week as the Halo Infinite passed Destiny 2 as Xbox's most played game in the United States, and that is significant. That's significant. Huge. What do you think about the Deadly?
That's tiny. That's as obscure as the Call of Duty stats. Like, our numbers are terrible, but it's got a good average engagement from people called Danny or something like that.
Huh? I mean, it's a battle of live services. Destiny 2 isn't a small IP. I know that there's also a conversation there to be had about what's happening with Destiny 2, because that's been going down a bit. Halo having an upward trajectory is a positive thing. I don't think you can disregard this. I think it is a sign of things improving in generally the communities. Look, even when it was nominated for the Game Award and it wasn't nominated for best.
Don't get me
game.
wrong. I'm not saying the upward trajectory is good. The general feel around the community is good. Halo is doing really well right now. I get that, but just cherry picking obscure statistics like it's doing better than Destiny on this particular platform is kind of funny. And I liken it to the reason that I mentioned the Call of Duty thing is Call of Duty that just came out in November. Statistically, it's well below all of the other Call of Duties, but they're still putting out these social media releases saying like, the people that are playing it for a lot of hours and just trying to like salvage stats.
But a lot more
Halo
than
versus Destiny is like,
how is that unimportant though? Because Call of Duty when they release a stat that saying that players are on average are playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 for longer than the last game. Even though you're saying the stats,
it's a bottom rung stat, because what they want to say is we sold more than ever. It's doing really well commercially. This game is a success, but they cannot say that, so they're scraping to find something that they can say.
But is it something that
it's
you
not
can disregard? Though. I still think it's not. I think it's relevant.
Yeah,
I do think
engagement in today's gaming is everything. Asa, come on.
Yeah, engagement is
but it's not engagement.
Important.
It's average engagement for our smaller audience. They can't say we've got more player hours because they haven't.
Okay.
Oh, well, I get what you're saying.
Audience, but that core audience is engaged for longer, which means they've tapped into a particular niche. Yeah, you could say that, which is basically the more, in my opinion, the Modern Warfare 2 crowd, the more core crowd. And and I can find that myself. I'm also engaged in this a lot more. Although I did Prestige in a couple of days on the last game. This one but this one I'll be playing for a while. So yeah, I get it. But I think Halo overtaking Destiny 2 isn't inconsequential because they're still vying for the similar crowd, and Halo has suffered quite a lot, and it is on an upward trajectory. So I don't want to be dismissive.
So I think when we talk about Halo as a franchise, I think it's fair to say that like Halo as a franchise has struggled. As an IP, it's not had a good run. Like I would even go as far back as MCC when that went badly. And actually shout out to Samurai KBG made a really good point in his video this week when he talked about trust in Xbox. And I think trust in Halo, for me as a Halo fan, I'm a massive Halo fan. I love this IP so much. I lost a lot of trust in it. And I know, Gaz, you were so vocal about how much he hated Halo Infinite, and rightly so, because I think Halo Infinite had hit a very, very difficult and rocky road. And I'm really happy to see that it's back on track. I think that Xbox has started to learn their lesson with losing their way in Halo Infinite. I think back to those words from Phil Spencer talking about, if we lose our way with Halo, we lose our way with Xbox. I think Halo still has so much weight and gravitas to it, and it's an IP that I want to see loved by more people because I love it. I had pros and cons with the TV show. There were a few things that I was more tolerable of than others because I think more than anything, I was kind of grateful that we just got a show, but there were definitely some creative decisions that were difficult. I want to believe that Halo Season 2 learns a lot of its lessons because the feedback was extremely transparent and vitriolic at points. There's no way they can ignore that feedback, and it came in such a high volume. I don't think they're going to be able to ignore it. I think they will have to make some major pivots with that show.
Yeah.
I think it's awesome that Halo is getting better numbers. You're right, Asa, about Destiny 2 being sort of a weird measure to kind of stack it up against because these numbers fluctuate, and I'm sure we'll get into this later. But when we talk about like PlayStation hedging its bets on games as a service, that for me, as someone who has played a lot of games as a service games and has seen Xbox balls it up with Halo Infinite in the beginning, raises a lot of alarm bells.
Yeah, no, absolutely it does, and that kind of figure this is why it's important. Sony is heavily reliant on Bungie, and I think
so much so that they paid them billions for essentially their advice.
Yeah, absolutely. Which set
that,
back.
and it's insane when you think
and
about it.
The best thing about it is that Marathon is third party.
Yeah, I mean everything is third party. Everything is owned by Bungie yet, but Sony threw billions at them for their advice on how to make a GAAS game. And how's that working out so far?
In the short term, not so well.
Not so well right now.
Not so well
we'll
right
see.
now.
But I'm not somebody who's like completely doom and gloom on everything. And look, I don't want to see a game fail. I want to see Marathon be a great game. Like, that would be awesome to have
I'm really hyped for
great experience.
Because
Bungie, to me, I have a lot of affinity for the development studio because, I mean, I loved Halo back in the day.
I loved
Bungie's Halo. So I don't want to see them falter and fail. But
absolutely, yeah.
It could happen.
Warring aside, it's Marathon. I hope it's good. I feel like there is a ceiling though, being multiplayer only for that title though. But I do think Bungie and Sony's problems will resolve themselves soon. But there's pressure there because they're a bit of state of turmoil seems to be a strong word, but like they have to reassess their GAAS pivot. They're going back, obviously had problems with quality assurance, so they publicly said that they're going to focus still on these 10 GAAS games, not try and push them out of the door like they were previously intending to really blur out that stuff and really reassess stuff. They've had massive layoffs, which is a problem, but we'll see. Alvin with a $5 super chat. Shout out to you, man. Thank you for being a member as well. He says, Kiki Wolfkill, head of Halo Transmedia, Bonnie, executive producer on Halo Season 1, have both been sacked. Season 2 is already off to a better start, in his opinion. Absolutely, in terms of, I don't know how much of the bearing them leaving has on the TV series, but I hope there's some like input between the new dev teams, like for something. I'm looking towards another set of out-of-game media, like storytelling. That you can tap into with the Halo lore, because there's so much there that can supplement the game and make sure, like we saw that we've had a very clear, and I don't want to I think we need to look at Cyberpunk Edge Runners as an incredible use case, an example where that anime series directly impacted the use, recovery, and positive trajectory of the game that suffered a horrendous blow critically and studio confidence down the toilet. And the resurgence that happened, Cyberpunk Edge Runners had a huge part in playing that part. Obviously, the game being good was great, the DLC being good, obviously, but that goes to show the value of having supplemental good like TV stuff that can actually enhance the gaming experience. I know for a fact that I'm more invested in Cyberpunk as a result of that, and I want to go. I need to get GeForce Now, actually, which I definitely need to try now that I've got a gigabit.
Try it out, man. It works really well.
Everyone is telling me it's the future, man. Like everyone says it works so
it's fantastic. If you don't have a high-end PC and you want to give it a try, GeForce.
I need to do it. I just keep putting it off. Nariko, shout out to you, man. Thank you for the £2 super chat. They should do an Elder Scrolls series. Imagine. I guess, Asa, you're more for Elder Scrolls guy. Elder Scrolls, does it have a similar kind of Fallout level kind of thing where the story isn't set, or is it like has that set story?
It's open, and obviously there's been like 5 plus the online game already, plus a mobile game. So there's a lot you can do in an Elder Scrolls world in Tamriel. They could tell stories in there, but high fantasy is hard to do well in TV. So Fallout probably is an easier one to dive into, I would say. Dragons are hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fonz.
Oh shit, we lost it. Fonz, what happened, man? Yeah, we'll get Fonz back. But yeah, I don't like high fantasy that much. Very, very limited examples of ones that I do like, but yeah, that would be good. Elder Scrolls is huge. This week we also saw just a quick thing. Fortnite is getting a racing game within it called Racing, Rocket Racing, that's coming out in a few days, December 8th. So I don't know what more we can talk about that, but that's something to keep an eye on, because Fortnite is so big, it's getting a racing game within itself, and it was like, okay, that's just crazy. Sorry, think that's that exciting. But before we get into there's a lot of topics here, so I'm just mindful of time. The big one, another big one. Well, the Suicide Squad. Now, the beta is out, and after having a very rocky, just public perception and off of its gameplay reveal, and then it did a longer deep dive a few weeks ago that really didn't seem to dispel a lot of fears. The Suicide Squad betas come out. A lot of people have breached their NDAs and are, because of how widespread this beta is, and a lot of people are able to invite other people because this is principally a co-op game. Suicide Squad has, if you watch public discourse on it, I think it's split in, and you get these strong opinions on it. They're quite weighted, like polarized. So you've got a lot of negative opinions on it, and some people are just like, even what's the name? It just was like the shit, deleting it. And it's like, and a lot of people are saying like, I'm done with it, and other people like actually breaching their NDAs in a way and saying it's positive. Now, I didn't play it until today.
Oh, you did?
I watched it for a few minutes. No, I spent like 2-3 hours. That beta is huge. You get a lot of content there. I spent like a good couple of hours. I was like, this is big. Have they given me the full game? And before I played it, so I'm talking about the bits that I publicly said on Twitter. I'm like, this looks bad. It looks dry. I'm just watching it. Don't feel anything. Like it's kind of like Crackdown with muted combat, and they've put in these characters in Suicide Squad, the DC universe, and the story looked okay, but whatever. Having played it, I would just say to people, like, the truth is somewhere probably in the middle. Like, you may fall in either camp, by the way. I feel like this game will be a polarized game just based on people and the way they're receiving it. Some people are really against it. Some people, because they are I feel like I like Rocksteady. I'm not a massive fan of Rocksteady's game, but I liked the Arkham Asylum, and I thought that was great. And never, some people are very
the Arkham
strong.
series is awesome, in my opinion. And yeah,
that's what they're holding up against. I think that's what they are, Fonz. I think they're really bitterly disappointed Rocksteady's not made that game.
Yeah, they wanted another Batman.
Yeah, you're not getting that. You're not getting that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a bit
and
obvious.
that's what I wanted as well. However, I mean, I do know going in that this is a GAAS game. It's probably not one I'm going to get because I've heard from close friends, including you now, that it's not really good. And I've been hearing that for quite a while from guys that have been in the alpha for quite some time. Yeah. They're not enjoying this game at all. They're just, there's nothing there that they feel like is enjoyable. They said even with friends, it's like, it's I don't know, man. Again, it's going to be very, very polarizing for sure. You said that, and it is. When this drops, I don't think it's going to. I don't think it's going to pull a lot of people in. I'll be honest. From what I've heard, I don't think it will.
I think a lot of people will actually enjoy it if they play it co-op, which is basically what the game is based on. It really is.
Even then, I don't know, because again, these guys were playing it co-op. Playing with others, and they were like, it's not very good.
I'll say I think it's obvious at this point that there's not going to be a 90+ meta game or anything like that.
Probably not even
70s or 60s, perhaps, maybe. 70s. I don't know. I'll be on. I can't talk about it that much, but just play it for yourself. Have a look at the reviews. Really, have any of you guys played it? Asa, you played it? Deadly?
Unfortunately, I say unfortunately not as feedback on the game. I say unfortunately because it means I can't talk about the game particularly. It's weird to muzzle yourself on talking about this one when the alpha is so very accessible. So anybody that has any vague inkling or wants to play it at all, it's very easy to get hold of this alpha. So best advice is do that, really. If you go onto Reddit, I'm sure you can find invites. I've got 3 spare invites, I think, if anyone's looking to get into the alpha. I accidentally got it twice. I got it on Xbox and PC. So it's very difficult to say much about it, but if you want to try it, you've got this weekend to get a little sample of the game, play the intro, and maybe make your mind up on whether you want to spend that like 70 quid or whatever it'll be when it actually comes out.
Damn, do you think it's going to be $70? Man,
it is, I think. Wouldn't it be? Why wouldn't it be?
It's a GAAS game. I would think that, it'd be a little cheaper. I don't know, man. Nowadays. Yeah.
What about you, Dan?
I might take you up on that operator. I have some mixed feelings about Suicide Squad. I think when I saw the footage that we saw back in the PlayStation State of Play, I think it was. I remember thinking it looks like a fun Crackdown flavored co-op experience in a DC universe, and thought that as a contained experience looks fun. As a Rocksteady game, it's not Arkham, it's not promising that, and I think it will be interesting to see how they manage to, because I do think they're going to struggle to not alienate the people that are expecting a Rocksteady game versus the people who are okay with a Crackdown game. It does look fun, it looks colorful, it looks loud, it looks like there's a lot of personality to it. I haven't yet played any of it, but I'm interested. It would be cool to.
It's funny you haven't played it, but you could probably speak more about it than we can. As a result,
if it retails at full whack,
that's what Tim Per 21 says. It's 100% $70. Yeah,
and I think it's a tricky one. So like, I guess if a game is primarily live service driven, but retailed at full price, like we see with something like Call of Duty, for example, or like we're going to see with Suicide Squad, or with Diablo 4, the studio gets its money. That doesn't change. But if the player decides that they don't want to hang around for that live service, that's kind of tough shit at that point, isn't it? It's a tricky one.
Yeah, shout out to Luke Steele in the chat as well. Also bound by NDA, but he says he's intrigued to see the reception of this game as well, which is a lawyer speak for it's shit. There you go. He breached NDA. Hoggy Channy with a $5 super chat. Thank you. Shout out. Good to see you, man. He goes, you won't break NDA, but having played it January. And now a few days ago, again in January, and a few days again, he's not pre-ordering, so he's breached NDA as well. Good luck to Warner Brothers. And
honestly, Hargy was the first guy I saw talk about it. Or he came to me and told me about it, and I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Not for me.
Yeah. Spartan 661 with a $2 super chat. Shout out to you, man. He goes, Rockstar needs to make a gritty Green Arrow game, in my opinion. And the grittiness is, if you miss that, you're going to miss it here. The stuff that of like the cheesy dialogue that you can see in the trailer, and what you're seeing, actually, what you play is a lot of what they showed in the long, big playthrough. So the story. And I hate that kind of like cheesy dialogue. Like, who likes this cheesy dialogue stuff? Like, it's so weird.
It's a fine line, because you can do like Guardians of the Galaxy did. The dialogue is freaking awesome in that, and tonally they're not a million miles apart, but it's very easy to like, it's a fine line between right and wrong if you're going for that kind of sense of humor.
That's a great example.
Guardians of the Galaxy nailed it. Banter. I literally laughed out loud several times at the banter within that game, and I don't do that normally with video games, but man, that was some great dialogue in that game.
Yeah, shout out to Joey Phantom Crack in the chat. He says he's played it and he liked it. Breach NDA, that's fine. But they don't care. They're not going to enforce positivity against you. One of the few people saying you like it. They're like, let him say it. I will say this, that I am hearing that there's a big. Should I even fucking say? I'm not going to say it because someone's going to make an article about it. Like what happened with Fable. But yeah, like Warner Brothers, Rocksteady. So we'll see what happens with Suicide Squad. Game Pass. I just want to quickly touch upon it. Game Pass is getting crazy and crazy. They added Remnant to their thing, and what else? Far Cry 6 and something else as well. Like crazy.
The first Remnant as well is back.
And the first
I think that was there. Wasn't that there a year or so ago?
I bought it recently.
Yeah. I played the hell out of the first one. Haven't played the second one, so I'm pleasantly surprised it's there. I'm happy because I get to play it now for not free, but for my Game Pass subscription. Game Pass has been amazing this year. I don't give a fuck what anybody says.
Fucking incredible.
The value this year has been so good. It's had a couple of my Game of the Years this year. I've had Starfield. I've had Wolong.
Oh yeah,
Wolong is one of the games I love this year. Like that was an incredible experience for me. So yeah, it's been really good this year.
Oh fuck, Wolong, the DLC as well for that game, man. That game was fun, man. I love that Wolong.
Has had so much this year. Like even so Liza P wasn't really like that.
Liza
small,
P
like,
is huge.
Atomic Heart as well came out at the start of the year too. Like
Atomic Heart,
they've really turned up the cadence in what they're delivering and just the. I know that the quality of what they've delivered sometimes at like Redfall, for example. For me, that game was a shit show. But Atomic Heart had like some mixed reviews, but I thought it was cool. I need to finish it, but I don't know. I thought it was a really fun vibe. I have checked out Remnant 2. I think it's all right.
I like Remnant 1. Me and my friend are playing it, but he went off and because I just took ages, and I wanted to play that before I played Remnant 2, but Remnant 2 is seen very fondly as a great game. So that's a great addition to Game Pass. I don't think this should be discounted. And before we went live, you were talking about the fact that you believe, Deadly, and some other people do as well, that
me too. I've been saying it for a while,
Yeah, that the Game Awards may show an announcement that Baldur's Gate is going to come on Game Pass? You think that?
I think that so we've heard some rumblings about Xbox needing to not only do they need to go big, but we've heard that there are some rumblings about them showing up at Game Pass, and potentially that expectation is higher than it should be because we all know what it's like to be an Xbox fan.
Yeah,
you have to temper them. But I do think that there is a possibility that Xbox may have coughed up a hefty amount of coin to bring Baldur's Gate 3 into Game Pass as it wins Game of the Year. I think that is a stunt that they would be willing to pull and willing to put money behind, because on a very public stage, I think we're talking, was it 30 million viewers for the Game Awards last year? So it's a big number, right? It's a multi-platform audience, and I think that's the most important thing here. It's a multi-platform audience, and Xbox needs to be able to just lay it out all on the table and just go, this is what we do, this is what we deliver, this is our service offering, this is the value that you get from it. And I think
103 million viewers.
Imagine 100. Jesus, I was way off.
Deadly and I thought the same exact thing, because when people were talking about Starfield got snubbed and all that stuff, I immediately told Colt, I think it was Colt I was talking to, and I said, wouldn't it be funny if they put the game of the year that's probably going to win, Baldur's Gate 3, into Game Pass and announce it there? That'd be hilarious.
Play.
That'd be so
the cost of that would be high, though.
Yeah, it would be.
Of course, it would be
very high.
It would be incredibly high. But I think there's another benefit that they gain from this as well, or just something that actually works in the favor of console players. Because we were talking a little peek behind the curtain. We were having a little chat backstage before we went live, and I know, Gaz, you've been quite sort of vocal about how you're not that bothered about Baldur's Gate. Fonz,
no, I want to play it, but
you do want to play it.
Not typically. Fonz is hype for it. Plus, people who normally play it, but I think the problem is it's a time sink.
It is. I think there's also it's that type of game that might not necessarily appeal to console players. If Xbox can lower that barrier of entry, make it easier and more approachable to get into something like that, because you don't have that risk of, because let's be honest, like we live in a time where money is getting tighter and tighter. It just is. And if someone doesn't necessarily want to fork out 70 quid for the Game of the Year, but they're interested in it, and Xbox gives them a way of being able to sample that, that's a great thing for gamers. I could see them pulling a move like that, and I could see them putting the money behind it, because we've also seen what they're willing to pay for as well. Like when we, I think Jedi Survivor was 300 mil to get that into Game Pass day one. Like they know how much it costs to put this shit into Game Pass, and they're willing to do it.
Well, the funny thing is they massively underestimated when they were doing the valuations or the guesstimates of what the value of these IPs would be, and the court leaks, FTC stuff came out. They looked at it like, this is going to be a 100K, or they undervalued BG3 massively. So for them to then, if this happens again, it seems like very out there, but blue sky stuff. But if it does happen, then that goes to show that they would have recognized that and
GAAS,
a big chunk.
I would be interested to know the sales for the PlayStation 5 version.
3
because
Nick Massey and a couple of ponies. I don't know. I'll be interested.
No, it's just because the reason being is maybe Larian Studios, the creators there of Baldur's Gate, they can look at that info and say, okay, well, maybe we didn't sell that much on console because this is typically more of a computer, PC centric game. Maybe we can, put it in Game Pass for this amount, and it wouldn't be as much as we all think. I don't know,
actually.
And that's kind of what I was thinking. But I will implore people though that if you are somebody that doesn't mind turn-based combat, that likes a really good deep role-playing game with companions and stuff that are really well fleshed out, their stories and everything, I implore you guys, try it when it comes to Xbox. And if it goes to Game Pass, I mean, yeah, it's a no-brainer. Try it. It's such a compelling game. I can't express, like, I know people get sick of me. They were tired of me talking about it on Twitter and stuff, but I can't help it. Like, when I really get into a video game and it speaks to me, I'm passionate about it and I talk about it. I've started a second playthrough without even finishing the first right now, and I'm playing both. Like, I'm just stopping one, going to the other, because I'm playing a darker, more violent toned version of the game, because it's so different. It is so different than my original game. So it's just an incredible experience, and I want more to experience it, man. I really do.
That sounds amazing. Hey, so you were about to say something earlier about...
That's something to say. Fonz already touched on it, essentially. People are talking about Baldur's Gate 3 having this massive cost attached to it. Like, it's so valuable, it's going to be Game of the Year, it's going to be talked about. But at the same time, exactly like Fonz said, the cost of it, or the value of that deal from Larian's perspective, it's like opportunity cost. What would we have sold if we were expecting to sell $500,000 worth on the Xbox? Then actually our price to go in Game Pass isn't going to be 300 million, because all we need to do is make more money than we would have otherwise for that to become worthwhile. And it has a knock-on effect, like, because obviously it being in Game Pass will impact sales across other platforms as well to some degree, but the game has been out for quite a while. It has sold massively well already. They have made bank. So actually, it obviously depends on both sides seeing value in this deal. Microsoft's thinking that they're going to get a game that is going to boost their subscriber numbers, it's going to get good engagement, it's going to get Xbox people playing it, which isn't necessarily a huge number of people, because it's not typically a console kind of game like you just said. And Larian have to see the same kind of deal. They just have to see eye to eye, and that deal could happen. I'm not saying it won't. I'm not saying it won't. I don't really make guesses on things like this, but it's viable. It could happen.
Yeah.
It's hard.
And if they were to put it in Game Pass, I'm telling you right now, I would start a third playthrough on Xbox and play with my friends on Xbox if they're willing to play. I would do.
That'd be amazing on Game Pass, because then if you have Game Pass Premium, whatever it's called, the top tier one, you can play it on mobile.
I've gotten pretty good at it, so I'm learning some of these characters. It's fun.
If that's the way that Xbox lean into it, and you know what, shout out to my mate Shawnee, he's probably in the chat. We were talking the other day. He was buying a new TV, and he sent me the TV that he was looking for. We're looking at, and I looked at it and was like, dude, do you know you can play Game Pass on this? And he was like, fuck off, really? It's like, yeah, seriously, you can play Game Pass on it. There are not enough people that understand where you can play Game Pass and how you can play Game Pass. And if
there are not enough people who know what Game Pass is.
They go,
Microsoft
there you go, bitches.
Up there.
It's Baldur's Gate 3 in Game Pass. You can play it on your phone. You can play it on your tablet. You can play it at the fucking barbers on a backbone. You can play it on your TV. You can play it in the bath. You can play it wherever the fuck you want. There you go.
Sell it, Deadly. Sell it.
Yeah,
it would be huge. It would be huge. They have to. They're not communicating it clear enough, and I think
Xbox definitely have a communication problem. If you're listening 100%. To this, Phil, Spencer, whoever, Aaron, you guys are fucking up the marketing of Game Pass. If you want
GAAS's words, not mine. Ignore GAAS, Phil. Ignore GAAS.
Deadly says you're fucking up.
No, it's not that they're not fucking it up, GAAS, but they don't push it. I feel like it's not pushed enough. I feel like because a lot of people that I know don't know Game Pass. There's there's a few of the gamers that I work with that that I would say maybe 1 out of 5 may know about it. It's like, it's not really well known. And another interesting thing that I saw with the recent Phil interviews recently, he had actually mentioned GeForce Now, and GeForce Now is partnered with Game Pass as well with Xbox. Game Pass, you can access everything there as well. So if you're into playing, on your TV,
thanks to our beloved regulators,
GeForce Now. It's crazy.
Regulators as well. Yeah, shout out.
Like, you don't even need a box. It's on your TV. It's there for you.
Yeah,
like
no, absolutely. Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, see, it's a Microsoft's problem to solve, but they need to do it, and it's quite jarring or just quite odd that despite the pressure on them, they can't get basic marketing messaging right. Especially in the UK of Game Pass, Call of Duty will help. I think next year you will see some real big shifts in advertising and marketing with Call of Duty because it's such a powerful force. Spider-Man, thank you for the $5 super chat. What shocks me is Rockstar says that Suicide Squad is a part of the Arkhamverse, but nothing about it feels or sounds like the game in the Arkhamverse. Yeah, that you'll see in the demo, like there's a disconnect there. This is the same kind of thing I had like Spider-Man and Wolverine. Like how's that going to work? The same universe? Like that's what worried me. But a lot of people said, look, Spider-Man has a bit of a darker vibe and showed me some stuff, and I was like, that is not dark enough at all. But maybe they can reconcile it. But I don't think, this is not a Batman Arkham game. It doesn't feel like it. The dialogue is so much of it is unnecessarily cheese. But it's not done that well. That's a weak point that you will see, not from my gameplay, but from the trailers, the playthrough. It's there, like it's not a vibe for those hardcore grim. And DC, it lends itself well to darker vibes. They need to double down on that. I feel, and I'm not a big comic book guy. I just started like this year. I remember I got into Flashpoint, Operation Web, Flashpoint. Got into watching the 2 Dark Knight movies, and I loved how dark it was. I was like, what the flip? They should do all of it like this, and they always go back to cheese for some reason. Danny, shout out to you. Thank you for the $5 super chat. 2 of my 3 favorite games of 2023 are on Game Pass: Remnant 2, Lies of P, and what's the other one? I would say 2 of his 3, sorry. Remnant 2 is a masterpiece. You're going to love it, Fonz. Definitely, probably, especially in co-op. The
only thing I heard, though, is because I'm more solo gamer with that sort of game, and I heard it's pretty hard solo.
Yeah. It might be.
Remnant.
Remnant 1 is fucking hard.
The only thing that I'll say on Remnant really quickly, though, is I really hope that game was financially successful before the Game Pass deal. Like, I hope this isn't a desperation move. It is to a degree, because Embracer are a hot mess at the moment. So the opportunity makes a lot of sense for Xbox to swoop in and get it cheap. But I hope that the current gaming environment already supported Remnant 2 as a successful IP, because it is freaking awesome. But it's far too difficult for me. I say that. I thought I was stuck on the tutorial. I've since learned it's not the tutorial that I'm on. It's random where it puts you after the tutorial. And very first set of enemies are these flying angel guys that dodge and they shoot these AoEs down at the ground. And as enemy design goes in games, these are like, typically you'd put this up as a pretty challenging minion grunt because they're a pain in the ass to deal with. And I've died so many times in just the starting areas of the game when it opens up. So it's pretty hard. I regret putting up the difficulty.
I'm not surprised. Yeah, me and my mate Dean were playing Remnant 1. We died a lot. I can't wait to try Remnant. A complete one. Dean,
yeah, I heard that there was kind of like cheesy moves that some of the bosses do on you, and you like can't escape it. Yeah.
It's not even bosses, some of the mobs and stuff. The game is pretty brutal in that sense. Yeah, so I definitely love my challenges there as well. You need to try Remnant 2. It's on Game Pass. Definitely try it, peeps. Both of them. Lao Shimazaki, shout out to you with the 500 yen. He goes, do you guys see Game Pass only games being a thing anytime soon? Hope not.
No, I hope not. That's weird.
That's icky to me. It's just like, so it's almost like it's going to become a service. And on that note, this week was fucking brilliant for this conversation. Holy shit! Apparently, what, bro? Come on, man. How could you miss it?
What are you talking about? The third party?
Xbox is going third party plans.
Xbox third party.
Oh shit! If you're on social media, you saw this fucking craziness. That was just turmoil. Celebrations galore from the pony stables. They revealed simultaneously. Now we know. J-Dub, Portorock, King Thrash, you guys desperately want Xbox games on PlayStation. You are a secret big Xbox fans. Grand opening, grand closing. And the grand closing came back so fast. In another 24 hours, your anus got destroyed. What am I talking about? So CFO Tim, whatever his name is, at Microsoft, made this statement. And people read that into it, including Nibbles, and they thought, holy shit, this is it. Microsoft, Xbox is going third party. Xbox games on PlayStation, it's the death knell. What happened?
So GAAS. So they took a portion of this article, as they usually do, right? They cherry pick a little portion that says that the CFO said that they were looking to expand some of their games on, PlayStation and even Nintendo. But if you look at the whole conversation, and context is everything, people. And I put a tweet about this because it's like, it was obvious that he was talking about the ABK deal, and he was talking about games like COD. But people are going to run with it. Oh no, he said that he wants to put games on PlayStation. They're going third party. And they all ran out to the streets and celebrated. They were happy about getting Xbox games on their platform. And that's what's hilarious, right? And, you try to talk to him. You try to tell him, calm him down. Hey, this is not what he was talking about. It's about, read the rest of it. Context, people. Come on, reading comprehension.
No, you're asking for too much in this community. You're asking for too much there.
Oh, my gosh. Way too much.
I just put out a tweet, just before Phil Spencer. So Tim Sorre says this. Let me read out what the offending quote was. I'm just reading out here. He goes, look, again, not announcing anything broadly, but our mission is to bring our first party experiences, our subscription services. This is remember that word, our subscription services, to every screen that can take they can play a game. That means smart TVs, mobile devices. That means we would have who we would have thought as competitors in the past, PlayStation and Nintendo. We're going to do NVIDIA, GeForce Now, their gaming subscription services. I think you're indiscernible. Think on tomorrow you can talk about that. So a lot of people, there is admittedly part of that does sound like it says those you thought as competitors. But then when later on, first of all, he talks about subscription services, but then later on he says, but we think about talking about a business to these endpoints. Again, it's that high margin business to new gamers that really Activision allows us to do in a much easier way. He's talking about Activision, he's talking about ABK, he's talking about Call of Duty, which is a third party available title. Now, then Phil Spencer comes out and then he releases some dank memes. He goes, and look at Jess Gordon, shout out to Jess, with an expertly timed interview and with Phil Spencer, no less. And Phil Spencer says, we have no plans to bring Xbox Game Pass to PlayStation or Nintendo.
The timing of that was so beautiful. You couldn't make it up, man.
Jez did an excellent job. Jez did an excellent job asking about that.
Jez, listen, you guys come at Jez, every time he speaks truthfully about shit, even if it's like negative against Xbox. Jez helped you deliver the bots some major L's, including me, major L's to the ponies. Just a few hours before this interview, I just put a GIF up and said, I'm just capturing all the receipts of all these Xbox is going third party shit. I'm just capturing all of them. And I didn't even realize that a couple of hours later, this article would come out and it would completely them in the ass. So it's quite funny, but it does show there's a communication problem. And Microsoft generally, get Tim or whoever out there, they need to be thinking of they got to be careful with the way
the communication problem. It's a listening problem. It's a comprehension problem. Like
it's a stupid problem, is what it is.
It's a lot of people out there not understanding what they're listening to. I mean, they're sitting there listening, blah 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 blah. PlayStation, PlayStation, third party, and they ran with it. Like it was just dumb. It was really ignorant.
The thing is, I thought, but I did spark some interesting conversation with very few people. The rest of the ponies, Sportrox, all of them, they latched onto it and they exposed how much they really want Xbox games on PlayStation, which is hilarious to me. But the fact that Asa, did you see that? You kind of no.
I largely missed it. It's quite funny because I had a little conversation on Thursday when I talked to people on my channel, and I asked if anyone gives a shit about this. Like, if Skyrim, like Elder Scrolls 6 comes out, Gears of War 6 comes out on PlayStation, like, does anyone give a shit? Does anyone feel any strong emotions about that circumstance? And nobody cared. Nobody cared.
Absolutely, should.
They're all grown-ups over there.
No, but think about what you're saying. And me and Fonz disagree on this. Yeah, Fonz,
because I don't give a shit. Because here's the thing. It's about Game Pass at the end for them. Anyway, and I guarantee you, if Sony were to allow them to put Game Pass on their PlayStation, they'd do it. They'd do it. And it wouldn't bother me. I don't care.
They're not
like, I'm here for the games. I'm here for the the value in Game Pass. I think it's an incredible service. I don't mind if it went when it went to PC. I didn't care. When their games went day and date to PC, I didn't care.
I cared. So let's disagree then this. I'll tell you why it's a problem. PlayStation won't allow it because you're just allowing them, Microsoft to completely undercut them and fuck them internally. But the prospect of Xbox, first of all, exclusivity, people think, this is just being a fanboy, you wouldn't care. What you're essentially propagating or saying that you wouldn't have a problem with is the elimination or a removal of a competitor in this space. Because Microsoft wouldn't be a competitor anymore. Maybe in the sub-service
if they're all about the gaming. If it's about the games, they're still a
service
competitor.
arena. But as a platform,
so you're talking about the console, the plastic, the console itself. They're eliminating that console, which eventually they're going to do anyway. Eventually it's going to happen for both sides, not just Xbox.
Maybe in 10 years. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, exactly. There's going to be another console generation. I'm sure of it. But after that, who knows? Especially when you see these services out there, even through streaming cloud and everything, it's scary.
If an Xbox game is on a PlayStation, is that not removing competition from the space? Because it's
removing competition from the console market. Yeah, it is.
And how is that good?
If you're just a console only gamer, I guess it would be really bad.
It's going to be Sony as the primary monopoly in the space.
I see Asa laughing over there, by the way.
But I can't see how it would be a good thing. I just can't see how that would be a great thing. It'd be a terrible thing. It's like basically saying,
as
Microsoft,
long as I get the games, I don't care. That I guess that's what it is.
I just don't think.
Look at it this way. So the thing that I would say, right? Competition. There will never be an absence of competition because people have finite money and finite time. So there will never be a lack of competition in terms of making games, wanting them to be good and wanting us to buy them. The competition that you're worried about, like Fon says, the only thing that you could potentially lose. You're not talking about Microsoft leaving the space as a gaming provider in any way whatsoever. The only area where competition could be threatened is, like Fon says, the consoles themselves. Sony would have a monopoly on selling that piece of hardware, which means so little in a world where you've got GeForce Now, you've got PCs, you've got other forms of entertainment. When I was like 16, I went for a job interview at a cinema, local cinema, because I was a kid and this is what you do. And they said, who do you think is the competition for the local cinema? And this was it was a profound moment. This cinema manager, they were a clever guy. They said, no, the competition for our cinema, bowling alley down the road, it's video games at home, it's TV, it's anything that you can spend time and money on, because that's how entertainment works. So there is no scenario where Sony just have a walk in the park because Xbox put Skyrim or whatever on a PlayStation. It's not a reality.
That's so weird. That's just suggesting that there aren't three. Yes, generally there people are competing for time, but there are three. Microsoft and PlayStation are head-to-head primary competitors. You're saying that there's other competition in this space, but remove Microsoft as an exclusive platform holder. That enables PlayStation to be more lackadaisical, less pressure to be competitive, less pressure to be.
How? Because the games still have to sell. That's what I see.
It's an example of why PlayStation 4
we're here for the games. We're not here for the. I guess this is the problem I have with a lot of the fanboy communities on both sides, is that I'm truly here for the games. And I don't see the games. The games is what sells us to this hobby anyway. It's not that piece of plastic. I'm not rushing out to buy a console because I want to look at the console. I'm rushing out to get the console to access the games. But if I'm getting more ways of accessing these games, especially as the future, the tech keeps pushing, I'm no longer going to have a reason to own these things. Like it's getting to that point.
I just feel like people think it's just a piece of plastic. They've got the wrong idea about what it means to have a console in this space at the moment. Huh? Because it's wires in it. You're essentially advocating for the removal of competition, and you were saying there's other competitive media. No,
I'm not advocating for anything. I'm just saying how I would feel about it if it were to happen. It wouldn't bother me that much. If they decided to stop making consoles, if they continue to provide me with a good service like Game Pass and I could access that somewhere else, I'm fine with that.
I think in the short, okay, so imagine this timeline, and I feel like this is how the timeline will work, whether or not we live to see the day. I don't know when it's going to happen, say 10 years or whatever. Eventually, Microsoft is already kind of leaning away from this kind of hardware-focused thing, which I don't like. And you could see that Microsoft then, and we get GeForce Now and services like this so good that they potentially offer us experiences so good that the box itself of wires, again, it's theoretical, but it seems like it's going that way, is not needed, right? And then, so Microsoft will bow out from that hardware focused thing. Sony will hold on to that for longer. Microsoft will be perceived as having bowed out, whatever. Sony will then eventually follow suit anyway. And then what the future landscape of gaming is going to be is services. You're going to have PlayStation services. You'll have Microsoft. Nintendo probably have some hardware thing. They always have some weird gimmicky thing that'll have a dildo as a console or something you attach to your whatever. But then I guess in the future, whatever, that'd be great. But in the short
I don't think it's happening.
If Microsoft announced next year that Game Pass is on PlayStation, you're not worried? Phones? You wouldn't care about the competition?
Personally,
you don't think that will have any impact whatsoever?
I think it would have impact on those that are beholden to console gaming, just consoles only. I think that's where it would matter. It wouldn't matter to those people who are playing on a PC. It wouldn't matter to those playing on GeForce Now. It wouldn't matter to those playing on a phone. They wouldn't care. And I guess
would Sony would feel the pressure to be competitive?
Here's the thing. It would make it to where consoles could become. I could see Sony having less drive to push technology within their console. If they don't have a competing console to, really compete against, I could see something like that. But at the same time, they have to push tech forward because these developers are using the tech from PC, and then as tech moves along, you have to have the platform or the hardware to utilize that tech. So I mean, they'd have to push forward anyway. Again, I think if you're just a console gamer, yes, it would affect you hardcore. It would affect you because it would affect your ecosystem, all that. Like if there was no longer an Xbox console, these people would have to go to something else. They might even have to go to a PlayStation, and it would be a completely different. Yeah, it would a different experience. So in that regard, I see it. And I'm not saying your point is not valid. But I'm just telling you how I feel about it. Like it wouldn't bother me to the point where I'm really upset because I still can access these games elsewhere through Game Pass.
Okay.
All I care about is Game Pass.
All right.
When it comes to Xbox, it's about Game Pass for me. That's first and foremost.
So you already made the jump there out of the
I've already in my mind, I've already decided that I'm going to be pushing to build a PC. So for now, it's like I'm accessing Game Pass through GeForce Now. I use my Series X when I can't, on certain games. But Yeah, I mean, and it's no hate towards the Series X. It's just that I'm just finding that my tastes have changed, and I need to move on. You know.
To add to your no hate to the Series X, I'm saying all this. I have a Series X, and I like playing on the Series X. And I don't see if Microsoft were to start, and this is obviously they're saying they're not doing it. If Microsoft were to start putting games elsewhere, though, doesn't mean that they'd stop making consoles, because in Microsoft's world, where they're pushing Game Pass, their console is like one easygoing on ramp to their ecosystem. So I'm not like, it's not even a question of them pulling out of the console space at all. It's them being less aggressive against Sony, but
I can't see them walking away from the console for that same reason. They need something that is their accessible, branded, visible on-ramp, and I think it would be very difficult to walk away from that. If let's say hypothetically, PlayStation say we are not moving away from console. You're always going to have a console in your living room, and Xbox go, fuck it, we're going to bin the console because we believe that our future is in the cloud. They are relying heavily on a lot of their customers and their user base, first of all, being okay with that. Secondly, being aware that it's happening, and having the same confidence that they previously had on more traditional hardware that is in your living room and is visible and accessible with an on button that you can just go, yeah, my controller's paired to it, I can play games now. I don't think we're ever going to see Game Pass on PlayStation. That's just not going to happen, because competition is important. And I think, you know, the biggest lesson that Xbox have learned in that sort of, you know, let's be honest, they've had a pretty shit run for the last 10 years or so, and it's turned around in the last few years, and I'm really glad to see it. But they had a rough ride with you know, the post-on-Matric era, amplified by the successes that PlayStation had, and the reason why Xbox is doing better than it has now is because PlayStation have pushed them, because they've had to, because PlayStation stamped their flag in the ground as, we are the home of single player experience, where you can get something that is polished and crafted and contained, but in a way that tells compelling stories at a beautiful sort of AAA Hollywood-esque level. That's the thing that they became known for, and the thing that now they have loyalty with their fans because of those IPs and because of those experiences that they put out, which again, so it does make me worry about where they're going to go with GAAS, because I bought a PS5 specifically to go and play some of their exclusives, which sort of speaks volumes as to what competition can do. And again, you know, like I said, the part of the reason why Xbox is doing better now is because PlayStation pushed it to a point where, you know, we saw the perfect example of that with the ABK trial, for example, where Phil Spencer had said, we had to put all of this money up front towards Bethesda. We had to go and buy Bethesda to get Starfield, because if we didn't, PlayStation would get it and then gatekeep it from us, which harms our consumers. We can't allow that. That's what competition does. So I don't think competition is going away. And I welcome competition, because we will end up benefiting from it as consumers and players.
Okay. And no, absolutely. Competition is I think it goes both ways as well. Before I add on that point, I just want to quickly read the super chats. We got Husha Gould with a $2 super chat. Remnant 2 single players easier with the dog class. I don't know what that is, but there you go, Asa.
That's how the pet dog.
Yeah. Danny Fashion Official with a $2 super chat. Guess my other favorite game of 2023 is Resident Evil 4 so far, which shouldn't have been nominated for Game of the Year, in my opinion.
I think there should be another category for that, you know, for remakes and remasters. I think there should be a category for best remake or best remaster, you know.
Yeah, it's especially at the rate at which these remakes are coming. You have that category.
I mean, next year we got The Last of Us 2 again remastered.
Yeah.
Strange.
I'm actually quite excited for that. I'm not going to lie.
Piece of pony.
I hate that story so much.
I'm gonna get murked for this, but Gaz, I know you usually ask your new guests what their favorite games are, and I was going to say, like, The Last of Us 2 is actually on that list for me, and I'm going to get so much shit for it. I don't care.
Shit on him, chat. Shit on him.
You know,
which proves that I'm not an Xbox. So yeah, fuck yeah.
Here's what's funny though. You killed everything for the chat already by saying that. You know what's funny is how just mentioning the fact that, like, I wouldn't care if consoles went away eventually or whatever, in 10 years or whatever. It gets him so pissed off. Like, gets so many people so mad at me, and it's like, you guys don't realize, and I won't say any names, how many of your favorite Xbox content creators play on PC. But it's so funny to me that you guys are so adamant on, oh my God, it's plastic or nothing. It's Xbox or nothing. And you don't hear us when we tell you we love Game Pass. Xbox is Game Pass. Game Pass is on PC. Game Pass is everywhere. Like, there's no reason to get pissed off because some of us prefer to play elsewhere. Like, we're not hating on the console. I never said the console sucks. The console is a great piece of tech. I own a Series X. It's right behind me. I play it occasionally, but I'm just telling you, at the end of the day, my preferences have changed with gaming. I want more frame rates. So that's why I choose to move on.
Since the Series X is not performing well, that's why.
It's true. It's true. I'm more than happy
you shouldn't get mad at somebody for choosing to play Xbox games elsewhere. It's still
I'm
Xbox.
just playing around. Yeah, no, obviously, like, I'm still Xbox only when I get a decent PC. I still feel like consoles, I enjoy it, but I will eventually go back to PC because I'm seeing some stuff. But then GeForce Now throws a spanner in the works where there's a different kind of experience that I'm getting as well. Viper XT with a $10 Canadian shout out to, man. He goes, I heard a certain microeconomics major that we shouldn't believe what Phil Spencer says, but believe the twisted pony narrative of what the CFO said, who reports to Phil. I think you all know who you're talking about, and of course he would. As he downs that Hennessy and just doubles down on the stupidity. And I see a lot of it. Like, they don't want to believe. They pick and choose which CFO they want to, like, they don't want to believe Phil Spencer. They hate him so much. Even they expressly said it after the fact. And you know what the pony said? They were saying, oh, no, but this is talking about, Phil Spencer said, we have no plans to bring Xbox Game Pass to PlayStation or Nintendo. He's talking about Game Pass, but the original freaking quote says this: bring our first-party experiences, our subscription services to every screen. So you can't have your cake and eat it, but I will have my cake. I will eat it, I will digest it, and I'll shit on the chests of all ponies when my video is finally ready and my Source rebrand is ready. Because thank you, ponies. Thank you for gifting me all the shit that I'm going to shit violently with the velocity of 10,000 microseconds into your head. Microseconds is not a good velocity metric. But anyway, Fantas Archer, shout out to you. Thank you for the $5 super chat. To your point about people not knowing about Game Pass, do you think another problem might be because PlayStation is a more recognizable brand to the general public? Absolutely. Especially here in the UK. You have to dispel that. Microsoft needs to even fucking pay Netflix just to be able to say, hey, Netflix, can we just advertise and say the Netflix of games? Just to have that moniker and that motto would probably do wonders in trying to propagate what Game Pass is to the general public.
So there's one more thing that I think might happen at the Game Awards, and I hope it does, because I do think that enough time has elapsed now. So back when, just after the ABK deal closed, we heard Phil Spencer talk about basically not being ready to put a bunch of ABK titles into Game Pass because there was some uncertainty about whether or not the deal was going to even pass, etc. And they needed some time to get that work done. I would like to see Xbox do some sort of like Activision flavored Game Pass drop at the Game Awards. I think that would be, I think that would be a really good opportunity. Well. Yeah, I think it would be a really good opportunity. Again, public, multi-platform, over 100 million viewers. I can't believe how far off I was saying 30 million. That's insane. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to edit my video now. Thank you for that, because I would look like a fucking idiot on the internet. I think that one of the best things that they can do is, hey, here's the return that our users get as a result of our 70 billion investment. Here's a bunch of ABK games that you can go and play in Game Pass right now. That's what Xbox does. That's where investment goes. That's what our players get out of it. We need to see that. We need to see more of it.
I think that is definitely coming. By the way, Dudley, it's inevitable. It's the timing of it when it will come. They did allude to that coming in January as well. I think they even made a statement saying that that's the earliest you'll see this. Whether or not they can announce it at the Game Awards, I don't know. I don't know.
Potentially, that could actually be a good compromise. To be fair, you announce it at the Game Awards and go, it's dropping in January. Because let's be honest, there's a lot coming to Game Pass over.
That's a key marketing beat to help Microsoft in this battle. But JD Gamer, shout out to you with the $10 super chat. I was wrong, he says. There are two ways Xbox couldn't have handled all the bias and negativity. I suggested that they leave the Video Game Awards. Yes, you did repeatedly, JD. Microsoft said shit that we aim to dominate, and it looks like we will be getting a good show. JD, isn't that what we said? Like, they need to go harder at the show where they have 103 million people there, as opposed to bow out and buy their own show. Wait, now at least you admit it, and they're gonna do it. And see, and that's the next topic, actually. Well, we'll talk about that at the end, about what Microsoft announced they're gonna show, and hopefully they're going to deliver. Hush El Ghul with a $5 super chat. Phil wants to make Game Pass like Windows and she for the streets. Yet they will continue to make consoles and they make like they make the service tablets. Yes, they will continue.
Yeah.
I was going to say, like, I just don't want Game Pass. I just don't think it's feasible. Game Pass coming on PlayStation is an admission.
We were talking about hypotheticals there. That's not going to happen. I mean, it's not going to happen. We know that. I don't think
it's going to happen, absolutely, because PlayStation would be stupid to have Game Pass on their console. That would be ridiculous.
It's really complicated because of all the third-party titles. So then you got like a game like Remnant 2 that's on Game Pass and someone plays it on PlayStation. How much money does Sony get for that? It's a massively complicated thing to achieve anyway, and we know that Sony don't want it. So yeah, it's not going to happen. Not soon.
You have a lot of people in the chat that's kind of speaking, about, not everybody being able to afford a PC and stuff like that. And it's like, it's true. And I understand it's one of the reasons why consoles are popular. It's not the only. There's convenience and that sort of thing as well. But you have to understand there's in the future, there's other ways of accessing Game Pass right now. You don't need a console per se. But in the future, I feel like you're not going to need a PC either. You're not going to need a lot of things to play these games. You'll be able to access certain things. And these are just like, hypotheticals that we were spitballing here. Nobody's saying, oh, down with consoles, they suck. No, but I'm just saying I wouldn't bother me in the future if you can access your games anywhere else. Like, what's the big deal,
I think in the future it will come. That time's definitely coming, and that'll be a big change. And it's starting to come there, but we're not there yet.
We're not there yet.
I do not want. I don't see
consoles going away next. We're gonna have a next gen, people. Like, people are already saying there's not going to be a PlayStation 6. There's not going to be an Xbox. Yes, there will be. There's going to be another generation of consoles, at least one more. It might even be another one after that. But I'm just saying. Like, in our lifetimes, you're going to see consoles.
BG, shout out to BG in the chat. He goes, dudes buy a console, then buy 15 controllers and pointless accessories. They can definitely buy a PC. Facts.
A lot of people do that. I said,
I know. Or they spend like $1,000 on fucking shitty sunglasses they never wear. Mr.
Who did that? Piece of shit.
What an idiot. I wish I had my receipt. I should have returned it. Mr. Tupinian, thank you for the $5 super chat. If it doesn't matter, why did the ABK deal get contested? What bearing does that have? I'm not disagreeing with you. He goes, if the console thing, if Xbox Game Pass coming to PlayStation didn't matter, why did the ABK deal get contested?
So the reason, I mean, ABK was about putting Xbox on an even footing, right? That was the case that Microsoft.
It's more the cloud space, wasn't it? That was the argument.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, a monopoly there.
Yeah.
So I think that was the main contentious there. It wasn't the FTC trying to latch on to the competition point, but really it was the cloud thing. So sorry, Mr. Opinionated. I didn't. Maybe we were getting that wrong with your super chat. JD Gamer with a $10 super chat. Question for the panel: do you see Xbox trimming or reversing the PlayStation console sales lead this gen, the next or never? How do you see the console wars playing out, and what would you do to win? I'm telling you right now, by the way, in the UK, the PlayStation this December, I'm fully expecting it to fully molest Xbox. I tell you why. Bro, I'm trying to get my dad's cousin's daughter's son wants to get a PlayStation 5 if she's in Pakistan. So to go get a PlayStation. There's like deals now where the PS5 with Miles Morales for like 300 or 400 quid. And there are loads of deals like that. The disc-based one. Bro, I tried to buy this fucking Spider-Man. Damn you! Making me buy a PlayStation and Spider-Man. Tried to buy this fucking everywhere. I checked everywhere. That was doing this promotion. Everyone was. Curry's, these are retailers in the UK. Curry's, Toys R Us, Smith's Toys, even the weird ones, Shop to everywhere. Sold out. You know, my dad is a pony. Do you know what he said to me? Because my dad is getting his for his cousins, whatever. And he was just like, I should have bought it when it was on sale at Curry's the other day. Now he's like, and I've bought, whatever. What? And the guy told me there's loads of Xboxes if you want to buy them. I was just like, my dad's like, are you a big Xbox guy? Because me and my brother always argue. He's a pony, I'm a bot. And always argue. He's like, you always argue about Xbox. And then, did you back the wrong console? I was like,
what do you think the disconnect there is in the UK? What do you think the disconnect is with, you know, the fact that a lot more people there are buying PlayStations over Xbox?
There's so many multiple things. It doesn't. This is a very deep question.
Yeah, I know.
I think it's a good question by JD Gamer as well. Will that change? And this week, Microsoft announced that in the US, they are going to have a significant price hit, $349 for an Xbox Series X in the US. This is a big promotion on PlayStation, by the way. 400 quid, you get Spider-Man and a disc-based PS5. They were selling like mad. Xbox, they need to do the same thing. But the reason why PlayStation is selling crazy is because it doesn't have a failed gen preceding it, has decades, including a generation ahead of Microsoft in terms of building its branding. Great games that the public will like in masses, like, you know, God of War and your Spider-Man.
I don't even think it's necessarily about their exclusive games. I think the majority of the reason is the fact that they had a whole generation that has really put a stigma on Xbox against them. Like, I think that's really the most important thing. And I think they haven't done a great. Yeah, Xbox hasn't done a great job at advertising, marketing, that sort of thing. So I think that has not helped them either. Also, like we were mentioning earlier, a big push for Game Pass is needed, because I don't know, you know me, I don't shill for any company or whatever, but it may sound like I shill for Game Pass a lot because I do love Game Pass.
No,
I think it's
like
really,
you shill for Game Pass either.
I think the service would appeal to a lot of people in the UK if they were to try it.
If they were to know about it, absolutely.
Yeah,
and to JD's
Game
point,
Pass is a phenomenal service. Like, anybody who genuinely sort of takes that position of Game Pass is bad for the industry, or like this sort of notion of like Game Pass fodder, Game Pass is groundbreaking for the industry. Like, you guys really need to just acknowledge the fact that, like, you saw what Netflix did, 10, almost 15 years ago now, I think, when they pivoted from physical DVDs that used to get posted out to you to streaming across the internet. Like, the fact that Game Pass has done that, and it is leading behaviors in the industry. And I say that because I do believe that's the reason why Sony have sort of, they've tried to change tack with how they approach PS Plus and what that offers is to its users, but I don't think it's there yet, and I really want it to get better. As someone who has both a PlayStation and Xbox, I want PlayStation Plus to be really fucking good, and it's not right now. I really want it.
I think the gaming day and date thing is the big one, isn't it?
Game Pass is phenomenal. I think Game Pass is so good, and I
don't have PS Plus because it's not good. It's just not good.
I had it for a little while. So when I first picked up, when I got my PS5 just over a year ago. By the way, we've got almost 600 people watching. So hit the like button.
Awesome.
Make some noise in the chat. Thank you guys for showing up as well.
Because I apply some beard oil on my beard. No, you're right. Absolutely.
When I picked up my PlayStation, I jumped into PS Plus to play some of the games that like I had missed out on, and I had a good time. It was all right. I had some gripes and some faults that I could pick out, but I did have a good time. But I've bounced off it since because there's nothing to keep me there. It's not doing it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And when I explain Xbox Game Pass to one of my gamer mates who I got to know through gaming, I told Game Pass is like Netflix for gaming. He goes, "Are you serious?" And I tell him what the games are. I was like, "Are you mad? Are you sure?" I'm like, "What the fuck?" This is what I'm saying. Microsoft is not doing their job when it comes to Game Pass and propagation. Like, JT, to your point. Sorry.
I was just saying, like, I like Game Pass and I use it a lot. I do use the PlayStation Plus one as well, and having this massive selection of games is brilliant for people like us. But we do also sometimes overestimate like how appealing that is to the broad audience. It's hard for me to like take anecdotes and apply them more broadly. But my own children, I've got Game Pass Ultimate and they share it. They have not used a game on it. They've not played anything on Game Pass Ultimate for like 2 years. It's just been a waste of money.
I have the total opposite effect with Game Pass and my kids. I get my money's worth just out of them alone.
I wish that I did, but I can't convince them to. And I try really hard because I don't think that like Roblox and Fortnite are particularly good for their health, but can't get them to try things like that. And you've got like episode 13 in chat. Doesn't play anything except FIFA. Complete waste of time him having Game Pass. So there's people like that. I'm just trolling him because he does have Game Pass. He's a massive one of my sons, cheerleader for it.
One of my sons, my 18-year-old son, he's nothing but like he loves indie games. That's pretty much all he plays. He hardly ever plays a AAA game. He thinks they suck.
Yeah,
I don't know. That's his thing, and it's total opposite of me. I love AAA games. So he plays all those indie games like Hargeet does. He plays all those on Game Pass.
He plays everything. He plays everything. In the chat, someone asked me, I've seen with these GTA 6. We'll talk about GTA in a bit. Before we do, shout out to Run Y. Welcome to the GameOnDaily family, bruh. It's good to see new members as the army grows. It's good to see you. Face, shout out to you. Thank you for the $2 super chat. Fonz, are you getting a PlayStation 5 Pro? Or are you going to say
hell no? Hell no. I'm not buying another PlayStation 5. There's just no freaking way. I used to be subscribed to PS Plus. I stopped all that because it's not worth it for me. I literally only boot up the PlayStation 5 to play their exclusive games. And then I turn it off. And so I don't play online with it. So there's no need.
Yeah. I'm in the same boat. It's there to play the games, so I can't play anywhere else. And that's about it. I actually struggled to remember the last time I turned on my PS5, and that's partly because I'm not buying the games.
And you know what sucks about that, Deadly?
In the bin,
when you do turn it back on, it's going to have like 5 updates for us.
Excellent. So I did get 300 meg broadband recently, which helps. That helps a lot. That's been a good time. I'm trying to think what I last played on. I'm very, very excited about Spider-Man 2. It's something that I want to play over Christmas when I've got some time to just sort of kind of shut the world out and just enjoy that for a little while. Because I'd
love to talk to you about that narrative, by the way. When you do play it, I'd love to talk to you about that.
Yeah, story. Definitely, man. After I played it, we'll have a chinwag and we'll talk about it. I am a little bit concerned about it based on some of the feedback that we've seen. See, the MJ sections are back. It's
more the narrative for me.
I really
enjoy the narrative. Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah, we'll see how we go.
My review for it's brilliant. Fonz, you should watch that.
Which one?
My Spider-Man review. Brilliant. I love it.
Oh, I gotta watch it. I did not.
I do want to watch that. I'm gonna wait until I play it. I know you said it is spoiler free, but I've tried to avoid reviews because I do just want to go and play it. I am really excited about Spider-Man 2, genuinely. So
it's great combat, man. It's fun. It's fun.
Yeah.
Is it spoiler free, Asa? Your review?
It is spoiler free. I try and do all of them to walk a fine line so that they apply to people that have never played a game, but also if you have played it and you know these things, then you can kind of get what I'm alluding to. I'm very careful with how I phrase things.
Yeah, I'm sure you are. Rambling Entertainment with a $2 super chat. Too bad indie game Minecraft Legends didn't make it. In what? Oh, you mean the game nomination?
Wasn't that last year? Minecraft Legends?
I don't know what the question was. So I'm not rambling what you were referring to there. Stop rambling.
I think it's the Game Awards he's talking about. I don't know.
Oh, is it? Oh, maybe. Yeah. Peter Morland, shout out to you, man. Member for 18 months. Entertaining and interesting show tonight. Great to see Deadly and the crew. Keep the source and the facts coming. Mostly opinions, but yeah. Shout out to you, man. Yeah. So we've all agreed that Xbox. Can we just talk about this fucking console thing? I just want to feel like I'm frustrated by this lack of focus on the console, man. I just want to shake Phil Spencer. I feel like I'm in the minority. When you say that it's all about Game Pass, I feel like that's the wrong idea. I feel like the core should be the console. I just feel like it. I just feel like that's where Microsoft's identity is intrinsically tied to it. And I think even though they're not going to release we'll talk about it in this next topic. And Face, your super chat is actually brilliant. Fonz, when the PlayStation 5 Pro plays all these multiplats better because of GeForce Now, because GeForce Now doesn't have all the games?
They don't have any. They don't have Sony games at all. So that's not my. GeForce Now has nothing to do with the fact that I'm not going to buy a PS5 Pro. It has everything to do with me sort of being. I'm kind of disappointed with the PlayStation this generation, honestly. Like so far. With their exclusive titles, I don't think I've played a brand new exclusive PlayStation game and thought, oh my God, this is incredible this generation. Whereas last generation, I was doing that over and over.
Yeah, but last generation, you had 3 years of nothingness from PlayStation.
Oh yeah, in the beginning for sure. But I'm just saying, like we ended on such a high note with like Ghost of Tsushima.
That's an ending, game. Though.
I love Ghost of Tsushima. I love it. You can't talk me out of it. I think that's an incredible game. It's fun. It's great. But yeah, like even God of War Ragnarok is not as good as God of War 2018, in my opinion. It's just not. It's a good game.
I'm tired of Sony's template. I'm tired of Sony's template of this.
I'm not tired of their template. I'm just I need. You know what it is? We probably need to see more new IP from them too. And that's why I'm so excited for like IP. Wolverine. You know, we say that all the time about Xbox, right? Lack of new IP. Well, it's getting to the point where PlayStation is now this generation just giving us, you know, sequels or remasters. And it's time for new IP.
I think that's why I worry about PlayStation a lot. And you guys talk about PlayStation's template. And I think you hit the nail on the head with the word template. I saw that a lot because I played quite a few PlayStation games in quite a short space. I didn't play tons. I played as much as time would allow. But I remember I played through God of War 2018. Which I actually didn't like that much. I thought the gameplay was good. Atreus pissed me off. I remember walking into this room with a big fuck off wheel, and he looks at it and he goes, "Hey, I think that wheel might be our way out of here." And I'm like,
I know, bro.
Did you have to like just give it fucking 5 minutes? Just 5 minutes of shutting the fuck up. And
every puzzle was
all
like
we
that.
needed, man.
Every puzzle, you walk into a room and immediately, hey, there it is.
Unhear it. I'm like, just shut up and let me do it. That's why I love Starfield so much, because you were a mute the whole time and you just experience it. So, okay, one of my favorite pieces of storytelling in Starfield, no joke, this actually made me cry a little bit. It really upset me. When you see Earth from orbit for the first time and there's no words.
You love PNG files.
Silence. And you look at... You look at planet Earth for the first time in Starfield, no context, and you don't know why it's there. If you see that planet, it's upsetting because your home is dead. It is fucked. And
why do you care about the Earth so much? You're so weird.
Because it's beautiful when people aren't assholes.
People are
getting less beautiful because there are more assholes. But yeah, it just that I want more of that. I want less spoon feeding from PlayStation's template, and I want better, more
you want less hand holding.
They do it well. Yes, I do. I do, because I think they do storytelling really well.
You'll love Baldur's Gate if you're good with turn-based combat.
I really can't wait to get into it, man.
Doesn't hold your hand.
Mm,
And but the thing is, like, the Sony template of it, like, I don't know what the fuck kind of drugs you were on when you were looking at Planet Earth on Starfield that made you almost cry, but that's your problem. But,
you have no soul, you have no heart, you don't care what happens to your home. No, it's true.
That's basically what Starfield was like.
Face asked me where I play multiplats. I play them primarily on Xbox, on the Series X.
Yeah. And on your face, I'm going to salvage your super chat in terms of PlayStation 5 Pro for this next conversation. A big event is hurtling towards us. A gaming event like no other. No, it's not the Game Awards. Sorry, Jeff Keighley, you can suck my. It is GTA 6 that is not appearing on your show, Jeff Keighley. I don't actually hate you.
I like that it's not appearing there.
I am I love that.
Everyone, because he's such a smarmy, evil guy. Jeff, if I beat you,
it's not about him per se. It's just that I can't stand. I honestly don't like the award show at all. I do appreciate the world premieres and stuff. And I love seeing game trailers, but I don't want to see his favorite band play or
finding out what
all the spectacle crap like that.
Energy drink is.
Yeah, I don't care about that sort of stuff. So show me the games, and that's it. He looks
like a used car salesman, and he just looks so smug. It's just like I respect him because he does put on a spectacle, and it's just, but he's that plastic guy, like he's basically a prick like me would be doing the show. I'll be the same guy. You would hate me being that Jeff Keighley. Like GAAS presenting the Game Awards is probably more of a reason to hate the Game Awards because I'm a piece of shit. But it's just something about Jeff Keighley. Just like
dancing on E3's grave was a bit much. That was a bridge too far.
Bro, that solidified to me this guy is just ruthless and just doesn't give a fuck about E3. He said, I cared about it so much. Bye. It's just like, shut up. No, you don't. But Rockstar know their worth. Rockstar are on a whole different level. No one in this space touches Rockstar. Rockstar are leagues ahead of every development outfit out there.
My favorite development studio, Rockstar. My favorite.
Bro, it's an event, and absolutely why? Because they are head and heels above everyone else. And everyone is waiting for GTA 6, not because it's been 2 console generations that we haven't seen GTA. Well, basically the whole of last console gen, we didn't see them. Well, we did see loads of GTA 5s, but they are going to push the needle. Now, chat.
Yes.
Someone in chat, or multiple people of you in chat were saying someone had leaked a GTA 6 and some kid did it on TikTok or some shit. I saw that.
I thought that the leaked footage was all alpha that we've already
No. So
seen.
they're talking about new stuff that
really.
Some kid or someone may have done it. I hope not.
I saw some fakes on TikTok. I saw a lot of fakes. Yeah, there was a lot of fakes.
Real, but yeah, you never know.
I've seen some really good UE5 stuff that looked like it could be Grand Theft Auto, but it's not. It's fake. Yeah? It looks incredible though, but it's fake.
14 seconds of footage from 2022. Okay. I'm not going to look at that.
You know what it is with the Rockstar games? Even their trailers are like big events.
Build from 2022, by the way.
Yeah. Nobody does it like Rockstar. Everybody loves, not everybody. A lot of gamers out there love GTA. They love the franchise. So absolutely. GTA is money. It's just it prints money for them. I can't even imagine. Think about this: going from GTA 5 to even Red Dead 2, the quality you got in graphics and animation, the change there that was so huge and dramatic. I'm only imagining now that game, Red Dead 2, to this game, Grand Theft Auto 6. How much better it's going to get, because they are masters at animation. In my opinion, they have the best animations hands down in gaming, the best. Not so much the controls. That they do need to work on those controls. They're a bit
is very
dated.
doughy as a result of those multitude of animations.
Hopefully.
It doesn't feel.
Yeah, hopefully they've worked on that and they get that a little bit more tightened up. But they're not going to lose with this game. It's going to be a win-win.
Ben goes, I just hope it's responsive. ODR2 played like molasses.
Yeah,
I feel.
Again, with all those animations, it's pretty slow, right? It's more realism in that game, which I appreciated. I liked it, but yeah, that's the one knock against it, I would say, was the controls. But I love Red Dead 2.
I think the controls, I hope that there is an improvement on the controls, because I think both with Red Dead 2 and GTA 5, it just sort of felt a little bit clunky. I remember, and I wish I could remember where I heard it or where the source was, but I remember hearing somewhere that the death physics or the injury physics when a bullet makes contact in GTA 6, they've been taken up a notch to the point where is a bit kind of grisly.
You can literally hit them. If you hit them in the kneecap, they'll respond accordingly. Hold their knee, shoot them in the stomach, that sort of thing.
It's going to be gnarly, man.
I hope so. I hope so. I want to see intestines rolling.
We've actually. I know that's true because we saw it in the alpha footage. It was being done. Yes.
I don't remember that.
No,
they were shooting.
That'd be amazing. They'll take that kind of body. Their attention to detail is mad. They've spent, apparently it's reported to spend, the budget for this game is between $1 billion to $2 billion. $1 billion. Think about that, man. How the
and you know what? This goes with that. So if they did, pay that much to make this game, think about this. Our article came out recently talking about how they might even charge more for this game because it's so expensive. More than $70.
Look, this might be.
You know what? And you know what? I wouldn't like it, but I know a lot of people are going to buy it.
I will buy it because GTA is an event. You don't get Rockstar's games. Like,
it's a moment in history, man. All of Rockstar's games are a moment in history.
They're a moment in history.
Big. They are so big.
And they spent.
I remember going to midnight releases for GTA back in the day. I used to go to midnight releases for GTA games back in the day. So it's an event, man. Even that I don't do that now, but I'll be waiting at midnight at home for sure for that digital download.
I will definitely be.
I'm booking some time off for sure. Annual leave is getting booked 100%.
Serve says that table tennis game was totally a moment in history. Apart from
that's a good one, Serve. That's a good one.
We're talking about the big ones. We're talking about the big titles. They are.
Not that game. That was actually a beautiful game even at the time. But look, Asa, man, GTA 6. What are your thoughts about GTA 6? And I'm going to ask you about the PlayStation.
First thing that I want to see, like top of the list of things that I want to see, is them call it GTA 6 because they haven't yet. And I look at it and I go, please don't turn this into a massive like live service thing because you're Take-Two and you're greedy as fuck. So I really want to show a trailer that really focuses on the single player and calls it GTA 6. And not anything ongoing, because I don't know, I have this like
shark card.
this shark card fear boiling under because of how much money and how much success they've had from the online side of things. Like, you don't need to bleed that across into the single player. But like Deadly was saying, their games are an event, so they'd be foolish to throw that away, right? Please.
That's the thing. Like, I have a lot of faith. If any company has earned that trust, it has to be Rockstar, but Take-Two are above them, and that's the problem. Like, the greed. When you talk about $2 billion, that's a lot of pressure as well. But
what also is a lot of pressure too is the writing staff there now, because the lead writer had left a few years ago. So this is somebody who we don't know. Like I'm hoping the writing is still good because I've loved their games thus far. And a lot of people in the chat's like, oh, they're gonna go woke, that sort of stuff. I don't believe so, but I think that you will see parodies on certain things because they have always done that with GTA. They've always mimicked life and had parodies on things that were going on with celebrities and, you know, the current events.
Commentary has always just been fantastic for me.
Yeah.
And actually, I think what is remarkable about GTA 5 actually is I think that from a commentary standpoint, it was almost ahead of its time, because yes, it was portraying a ridiculous version of what was it 2012, 2013? I can't actually remember. I can't remember which year, but it just sort of portrayed the time at the time. I've played GTA recently, and it still feels current. It still feels like it's taking the piss out of modern day. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what GTA 6 does, because the world has gone a bit batshit in the last 10 years, and I think the GTA will be.
Yep, I think so.
Firing a lot of shots.
Now, what do you guys think about the rumor? Well, it's not really a rumor. It's pretty much confirmed. But what do you think about a female protagonist, at least one of them being female?
I don't care. I've seen that.
A lot of people are upset about it, right? Like, there's people out there that are actually mad about it, and I'm like, why?
50% of our population are women. Grow the fuck up.
Exactly. And they're like, well, she's
like, you want to see male ass all the time, or you want to stare at some nice little? Okay, well,
put it out there.
Put it out there. That's my mindset. Exactly. Like, I've never had an issue. My friends do. Some of my friends actually say, "Oh, it's a female character." I'm like, I never.
I don't know. I don't really follow that logic.
I think that maybe because they assume they are the character, so it's hard to suddenly grow a pair of ovaries
to be immersed. I could see that, but
maybe that's what I assume that. But for me, it's like I don't mind. In fact, the only way I won't mind is if it hasn't been shoehorned to propagate a woke narrative.
But you know what I say to that, GAAS, when people say, well, I can't be immersed if I have to play as a woman. I'm like, but you played as a fucking cat the last game you played, and you were immersed. Or, you know,
right?
Or, you know, even going back to GTA 5, I played as a crackhead in that game, Trevor, and I was still immersed, okay?
Well, that's exactly who you are.
So, no. Never coming back.
I don't know if you want to get immersion in GTA as being the character. I never understood that thing with the female characters. I don't mind.
Yeah,
in fact,
it's all good.
I think there's a lot of room there to actually tell a really cool story as a female. Maybe wrong, but she might even be pregnant or something in this game.
I think they said that the rumor was she was a single mom. And it's like, okay, there's a lot of single parents out there. Like, who cares? Like, big deal.
I think that's quite an interesting story
elements
narrative.
There. Yeah,
for sure. Like, you think about a single parent like really up against it has to do some pretty shady shit just to keep a roof over a kid's head.
Mm-hmm.
Like, especially if it's a woman, because then you really care about
100%.
I would care about it more if it's a woman. Like,
you're more empathetic.
I'll be more sympathetic. Like, a single dad is like, all right, we need to let our testicles drop and do whatever we have to. Whereas a woman, like, it's not nice in the world out there. Let's be real.
Or opposed to a bunch of college
thirsty guys. But like, if you hit that mature narrative story as well, like, that's the kind of like this. It's not woke, but it's telling something like we don't see. Woke is like shoehorn. People are like, "Guys, you're supposed to say woke all the time," or they don't say that, but you might think that. But it's not like trying to like punch it down, which is what this Rockstar was saying. We're not going to punch down on communities. But the recent woke shit, if you see the Doctor Who and all of this, the weird shoehorning of like pronoun and all that stuff, if that's the kind of way it's done, and it just seems pandering, but at surface level, it's going to be met horrendously. There's going to be a backlash that will destroy Rockstar's reputation. I promise you. I don't think they'll do that. I think they'll just deliver their narrative, their jokes in a way that's tasteful. They can be quite crude in the jokes, maybe less South Park and more, aware.
No, I think there's going to be. I think there's going to be just as much South Park in this game as other GTAs. I think we're going to get those radio stations, those parody radio stations that are hilarious, where you've got the news talk. I love listening to the news talk stuff because they make me laugh.
The news is the best part.
The talk shows and stuff. They're so good.
Yeah.
I would sit in the car in GTA and just listen to that stuff sometimes, just laughing my ass off.
Fucking funny, so good. They can't get rid of it.
Rockstar saying that they're not going to punch down, I think for me kind of confirms that they're just going to punch everybody equally, which is
that's what I think too.
Very well.
Yep.
And I think Rockstar and both South Park as the great levelers who just stick their middle finger up to every single person in the room and then walk away is the thing that they do best. I'm really excited for GTA 6. Absolutely. And I think that if we do see a female protagonist, which is more than likely, that wouldn't surprise me at all. I think that I'm looking I can see misogyny being projected at the protagonists, and I'm interested to see how that is handled and how that is dealt with, because we still see quite a lot of it, and it's not woke to criticize misogyny. You're a fucking idiot if you're not happy with it. It will be interesting. It will be a good game.
That did see a lot of incels cry about the mere fact that there was a woman there, not the implementation of the woman's story or anything. And that is just like, all right, you're kind of like fucking ratifying the woke movement in many ways because you're crying about the mere inclusion of a woman, which is the species.
And what Rockstar will do is take the piss out of you for getting upset over there being a woman in the game. You can guarantee they're going to break that fourth wall, and they're going to make you feel like a fucking idiot. They will do. Yeah, it's going to be wonderful.
It's going to be great, man.
It's going to be risky. If a good story will be risky, it'll be mature, it'll be like there'll be some controversies, but it'll be if it's delivered well, it'll be something delivered in a way that will have some good cultural relevance.
It definitely won't be Saints Row. That's for fucking sure. We're not going to get a bunch of college kids thinking about that. Was worse to me. A bunch of college kids sitting around. How are we going to pay our tuition? Oh, let's be gangsters. Like, no,
oh my god, that was sacrilege to the original Saints Row 2. If you knew the game and the story was so good, which was a Saints Row 1 where you get initiated by getting the shit kicked out of you by a group of guys, old school humor, that was really good. And I don't know, Asa, you're more culturally aware, I'm sure. You're a robot, but what do you think about GTA 6 in terms of its story and this whole thing about culture and stuff?
I don't know.
He wants to play as a cat.
I've got nothing. Just shoot.
I'm intrigued to see that computer says no kind of thing is why.
But you know that what I said, it was a joke, but it's true. You know, we play so many games where we play sometimes non-human characters, but yet you play as a woman, and it's like some people are like, "Oh my god, this is crazy," and it's like,
I'm actually excited genuinely about the women implementation, because she's like, where can you take characters? Like it's a single mom, and then you're supposed to be able to switch between two of them. One of them is a boyfriend or something. I'm trying to remember.
I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see how it plays.
We'll see what it is. We're gonna find out.
It's gonna be fucking good, man.
Yeah,
it's gonna at least look incredibly it's
how
good really
though,
good,
because we are putting this thing on a pedestal already.
I'm telling you, man. I look at Red Dead right now, and I still see freaking Red Dead 2 is immaculate on PC. It looks it looks great on the Series X. Even on the 1X, it looked incredible.
No, it looks amazing. But
that game just looks so good, man.
I'm slightly concerned about frame rate. That is my one concern, because
console Red we Dead might get 30.
Red Dead 2 still 30 on Series X and PS5, isn't it? They've not upped
I'm just gonna have to settle with that.
They would. We're gonna, you're gonna have to.
That's not like it's only 30 on those consoles because they might want to sell you something later. They could, like Microsoft could have done it as part of their 60 frames per second program.
Why haven't they done that with Red Dead 2? Why haven't they sold us?
That's what I mean.
Frames?
Because Take-Two will not let Microsoft do it because they might be able to sell that at some point. They're just keeping it in their pocket. We can sell an updated version.
Now, absolutely, they will do. Rambling, thank you for the $5 super chat. Since Jeff Keighley thinks indie is up to debate, Minecraft Legends got snubbed for best indie this year. Hi-Fi Rush 2. I don't think those two are indies, but yeah, you're right. Jeff Keighley's understanding of what indie is just wrong. Sorry, Jeff, you're wrong. The GTA 6. Now, this is the big one. A lot of people are wondering who has the marketing deal for it. You're like, who cares? No, you should care, because it's going to be a big, big thing. I reckon it's PlayStation that has got the marketing for this. I'm just not because I'm just guessing, and I reckn it'll coincide.
The rumors and everything about their financials recently, like, do you think they spend that much money on the marketing? I would, if I was their company, I would go all out. Everything I had would go to Grand Theft Auto 6.
I think they will. I think it would suit them well. They'll make back the money in the bundle. So I said it's going to be not just marketing. There'll be more than that. Now, if it's anything ludicrous, like timed exclusive for a month, bro, they can get away with that easily.
That's so bad. That's such a bad look.
It's a bad look in terms of ethics and all of that, and buying your way and whatever. Yeah, all the ethics shit. 100% agree with you. Sony will be known as being absolute scum, but PlayStation and Xbox are the two places you will only see this game. I guarantee you, there's going to have a phased launch. Play PC a year later, at least. So if they forsake Xbox for a month, it will be huge for PlayStation.
I don't think they have that kind of capital to do so. I think it would cost way too much for them to do that.
I don't think they can do that either. But you never know, man. Weird things have happened.
Especially you just said a year away on PC. Yeah, forget about that. It's going to be day and date on PC.
You think it's going to be day and date on PC? I think it's going to be a year away from PC.
I don't think it'll be a year away.
I'll be surprised. I'll be very surprised. Really?
The install base is too big. I don't think they're going to want to alienate anybody.
So many people have gone PC.
Anybody.
Yeah, and so many people have gone PC this generation. It's not even funny.
You say that, Fonz. I would like that to be the case, but they've got. They've had successful launches with their staggered launches, and the thing that makes me pause on it is Grand Theft Auto 5's update never came to PC. You can't get the ray tracing update on PC. So they do still have this thing that they do where they prioritize consoles, and I don't know if that's gone away or not.
Okay. I'm just looking at the climate recently, like especially within the community, and I'm seeing like more people going to PC, and I'm just like, it's interesting. It's interesting to see.
The thing is, though, people will 100% double dip.
Well, here's my other point. It's so new, and it's so early on. I mean, I say it's early on, but it's already been 3 freaking years in this generation, this console generation. But I look at the numbers out there. That's what's been sold so far, and I'm like, is that enough for them? Do they want more? Because this is not going to be on PlayStation 4. So
ultimately, it will sell as many copies as it can, because there's as many gamers there are. Even if it's not on PS4, gamers will play this.
Buy a PS5 or an Xbox PS5, just for Grand Theft Auto 6. Yeah, you're
GTA
right.
6 is going to be an event. It's going to be mad.
Yeah.
And I reckon they can get with it. Sony can, as a shit move as it would be, can you imagine? One thing I will say, okay, forget that. That's more pie in the sky stuff, a timed exclusive, even for a month, even for a week, even for 2 weeks, right? But GTA marketing, and this is what I was more alluding to, was the bundles deals. Exclusive marketing and the PS5 Pro we know is coming out next year, the same time as this GTA 6 is most likely going to release.
Yeah, I know a lot of people talk about how these bundle deals don't, at least that side, they'll tell you, oh, the bundles don't really, that's not really what's selling these games. You know, these games, the bundles really have nothing to do with that. All you have to look at is these charts in the UK or whatever. Look at the game sales, but they're talking physical. That's what those charts talk about. And if you look at the recent news, digitally speaking, 96% of PlayStation gamers are buying their games digitally now. 96%. So fuck your physical sales. Like, seriously.
Serious?
Yes. 4%.
96%.
Only 4% of gamers have been buying on the PlayStation, have been buying physical games. An article just came out about that.
No way.
Yes. I'm not lying. I wouldn't say it if it was a lie.
What the fuck?
There's an article about this. Didn't we talk about this? 60%. I thought we talked about it.
96% of PlayStation guys buy the games
physical.
digitally.
Last quarter.
That's fucking crazy.
Yep.
Forever digital, yeah.
Forever physical. What happened to that? Yeah.
Fuck that shit.
Not much.
Wow. I say all this is all guessing. If Xbox come out with the marketing deal, it makes so much sense. Microsoft, if you have to spend $1 billion to get marketing, I would say it's worth it. Worth it for bruh. you get Call of Duty next year, you get GTA 6 marketing and whatever with Game Pass. It doesn't have to be in Game Pass. I guess it could like a week in Game Pass, even time limit it narrowly. The marketing, if you want to make a dent in the space with content, that would be fucking insane.
Let me say this so people can. I'm going to read this here. Physical games represented just 4% of PlayStation sales last quarter. This is quarter 2 of 2023.
Holy shit! I'm
not lying, folks.
Right, listen, Microsoft
what you're
was so
reading
ahead
there,
of the
though,
game.
just out of curiosity, like who is it and what territory and all that kind of stuff? Does it say?
Let me go back to it.
While you're doing that, Face with a $2 super chat. I'm willing to bet GTA 6
by the way,
will run
Push
60
Square put this article out. Push Square put it out.
Push Square? Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know which region and stuff? Does it say
I'm
when?
looking. Yeah, I'm looking.
Why was you saying that? Face the reckons it will run 60 FPS on PS5 Pro. It should. BG, why do you think BG says I don't think it really matters who gets GTA marketing for certain reasons? What are the reasons, bro? Tell us the reasons. I think it matters. I think it's just like ultimately,
like with any other game, when you have that marketing deal, it does sway some people sometimes to buy on that particular platform that it's marketed for, because a lot of people will think maybe we're going to get something extra over there. Maybe, that is the best place to play it. Maybe that version is better. A lot of people think like that. With
a lot of people do. For Microsoft, they need it more than PlayStation. Most people, even if Microsoft got the deal, more people will buy on PlayStation, obviously. So Microsoft need it more.
I did that with Hogwarts Legacy, and specifically the haptics and the marketing behind that appealed to me. Overhyped, massively inflated hype on
the DualSense. Yeah,
if I'm honest.
This is by the way, the 4%. This is just Sony Interactive Entertainment overall. This is not saying that it's per a certain territory or whatever.
Oh, wow.
It's their total. They're saying that the physical games are just a drop in a bucket for PlayStation these days.
Holy shit. That is insane, chat. Microsoft with the Xbox One was a whole generation ahead, more forward thinking, whilst Shuei Yoshida was like, this is how you share games. What you was doing is taking you back to the Stone Age, because Sony ultimately ended up doing what Microsoft had the foresight to say. You see, the Xbox One was ahead of its time, you pony. JD Gamer with the $10.
I actually really liked its approach. Sorry, carry on. Do that.
I liked its approach. I even wrote an article that they should stick with it. But the proviso was, one, you explained to us what this fucking family plan was. You never gave us the details and how we're going to share our games with our friends. Sounded great to me, but how do we do the details? And this mandatory sign-in, how is it going to work? Didn't explain it very well. Didn't give us the details. Microsoft didn't even think it through. So, but I liked their vision. I even wrote an article which pissed people off at the time. But I said, I like their DRM vision and bring it back. But it was a baity headline just belying the fact that there could be something great. It's forward-facing. JD Gamer with the $10 super chat. What if it's not PlayStation, but it's Xbox that drops the bag on GTA 6 for 3 months timed exclusivity? Add extra content and console bundle. How does that affect the console market? Massively. That would be worth a $10 billion deal or something stupid. And Microsoft, you should pay. You have the money. Do it. Bro, everyone would be forced to buy an Xbox. That's more important than COD on Game Pass, in my opinion. If you did that, if Microsoft did that, it's so unfeasible to talk about it, but just think about it. That would be, you would see consoles sold out.
Yeah, that's true, but that's an insane amount of money to put down.
But it's worth it.
But just the marketing rights alone, are huge. Just to answer BG, because I remember even going back to Destiny, the original, there was a lot of people who only thought that game was exclusive to PlayStation because they had so much marketing on that game. There was a lot of people out there that were going to even PlayStation that knew it was on their Xbox, but went to PlayStation to play it because they had more things within the game that wasn't there on Xbox, more strikes and things like that. So perception is everything in this business. And if people perceive a game to be better on one platform, or it's marketed for one platform, they're going to jump to that platform to play that game. A lot of people will do that.
I think so too. I do agree with BG that a lot of people are already invested in the ecosystem that they're committed to, especially because of last gen. And Phil Spencer said the same thing. So there is that, but there is definitely a value in that. Eat Fresh guy in the chat says Microsoft would have to.
If I got something extra out of the PlayStation version, I'd be there to play it, even though I prefer the Xbox ecosystem.
I wouldn't do that, but yes, it depends on the extra bit. Like with Destiny 2, I would it anyway, but you got the moon thing gun. I was like, fuck.
Yeah, it depends what it is.
That's Destiny 1, I think. Eat Fresh guy says Microsoft would have to sell Xbox in order to afford exclusivity, lol. Stop the nonsense. Microsoft just spunked 70 billion and then 7 billion. You think Microsoft, Sony needs to get a loan for its next acquisition. Shut the fuck. Percy Pringles with a $5 super chat. Thanks for the content. I'm looking forward to the rebrand. I can't wait to reveal that. Talk about Septic Sauce.
It's crazy stuff going on.
Crazy stuff indeed. It's very different. Hawkmoon, that was it. Yeah, look, I think it would be big. I mean, Phil Spencer, Satya Nadella, you're the one who has to sign that check. Do it, man. Can you see how disruptive that would be? The consoles would sell out. Game Pass numbers would spike. Ponies would cry. Oh, the ponies would cry.
Yeah.
Just like the Xbox would cry if it was time to exclusive from PlayStation. But that is, if you want to shake it. Mad. But Phil Spencer says it. We don't want to do deals like this. Phil Spencer, you need to grow some testes, man. Fuck it. Sony don't give a fuck about you. They've taken the piss. Just do it. It's not going to happen. But it's good to talk about. Just imagine what's going to happen. We got
King Hargeet said they should. He said, I'm not saying it'll happen, but they should buy Take-Two. That's expensive, Hargeet. Holy crap.
Probably cheaper to do that than get timed exclusivity for GTA 6 somehow. It's that weird.
Wouldn't that be just as expensive as, or even more so than ABK? Probably. Especially with all the money that they rake in with just freaking Grand Theft Auto.
Nah, not with King in the picture.
Yeah, King is massive.
Well, but Take-Two bought Zynga though, so they've got their own mobile angle too, but not as.
It would be like
King.
20-30 bill, I would say. Maybe.
I would say 50, 60. I think it would be way up there too.
Yeah. I mean, ever since ABK, the figures are fucked because it went from 7 bill, which was like eye-watering. Well, it went from it went from 50 mil for Rare, which seemed crazy. Then it's 250 mil for Insomniac, because like actually at the time it seemed like really good. Then went to 7 bill for ZeniMax. I was like, yeah, what the fuck? And then 3 bill for just Bungie sound like a bit of a ripoff. And then 70 comes out of nowhere. Microsoft just throws a spanner in the works in terms of valuations. Now, we have a big moment, even though it's Jeff Keighley, Game Awards. And Xbox apparently have some big announcements to make. They've said it. What the fuck are these big announcements? By the way, I'm very surprised in the chat poll. 63% of you out of 134 votes, decent player poll for our audience as well, think that the GTA 6 will come out on the PC day and date with consoles. So they most agree with you, Fonts. I would be very surprised. Jonas the Dad says, Phil doesn't need the testes.
Asa makes me rethink things all the time.
Huh?
Asa makes me rethink things all the time. He had a good point.
Yeah. Okay. So you're going against the poll. I am also against the poll. I think it won't be on PC. I know the PC's market is where it's at, where the source is at, but the source can wait because that's the power of GTA 6 and Rockstar.
It's traditionally what they've done to stagger the release. Yeah.
I'll be very surprised if they did it. But we got the Game Awards, we got the big announcements, and we've got the big reveals. Like, it's going to happen next week. Are we actually going to see Hellblade 2? Because I reckon we will.
I hope if we do, it's going to show combat. I don't want to see another slow trailer like we've seen. I want to see the combat.
I know people who know people working on the game, and it seems very promising.
It got rated in Australia last week, didn't it? Was it a mature rating or a teen rating? It got some sort of rating.
Yeah, mature, week. 18 rated, as along with something else. Forgot.
Yeah, I just hope we get some combat.
We need to get combat for Hellblade, man. Like that freaking game, man, needs to show us what it's about. It's been 3.5 years, and I guess you're asking for it to be rushed. Listen, bro, you can't reveal the console with the game and then not show the game for gameplay for over 3 years. I'm sure it's coming.
Yeah,
honestly,
was right. More mocap. More mocap will be shown.
I'm okay with them taking their time. I think we've had too many games pushed out the door too soon, and to the point where gamers have just gone, look, enough is enough. Stop doing it.
Yeah, you're right, Deadly, but just don't show anything at all then. Like, we don't need another showing of here's what the behind the scenes is like, you know?
Oh man, that would vex people. I think people would be pissed if they didn't even get a date. If they showed the combat and didn't show the date.
Not even new content, not even different content, just exactly the same face tracking video that they showed for under.
If he's staring at some puddles again, I'm gonna be
looking at the puddle.
Pissed. But, okay, it looks nice now.
Yeah,
Can we see the gameplay for this game?
One of the best looking games I've ever seen, but I want to see more gameplay.
Absolutely, we do. Absolutely, we do, man. It's just taking the piss. Wagwan Splendor first. It's good to see you, man. Like that, I think is almost a given. It's wildly ambitious, and it's going to represent Microsoft's cash injection to a former indie studio and the realization of their vision. And if it is what I think it will be, a great looking and hopefully great playing game, then a big source of vindication for Microsoft as far as its 2018 acquisitions are concerned and what it can do for game studios. So that's that. What else are we expecting? Because there's a lot of rumors of Gears 6. Like Gears 6? Do you expect that?
I don't.
I'm unsure about Gears 6. I actually think we might see that at a first party thing. I'm not sure. I think it could go either way. I didn't have Gears 6 on my list. I'd like to see it.
Yeah.
I'm just not
I think we all would.
Yeah, 100%. It's
even though it doesn't have my amazing active reload mechanic, I think I'm actually really intrigued to see Gears 6.
Might.
They might do if they listen to me.
man, let's get more quick time events in Xbox games. That's what we all want. That's not a quick time. Anyway, and a companion that tells you the answer to all the puzzles before you've even fucking looked at them.
Not
need
tells you how to reload every time you need to.
Hey, did you know you could push that button to reload?
You know what? I think
you're about to run out of bullets. Shut the fuck up.
But bro, you talked about female and protagonists and people are pissed off about GTA. I saw Cole Eastwood pushed a tweet out about he can't wait for Gear 6 and Kate's story or something like that. And the chat people were pissed about Kate. Like, it's not about Kate. It should be about Marcus Phoenix. Marcus Phoenix was pretty much brought back because he's an old, like,
he's an older, he's an old guy now.
The best part of GTA Gears 5 story was when at the start for me, when with Kate's more serious tone, I'm like, okay. And then it just lost its way later on. And I was just like, and then it became stupid again. I reckon Gear 6, irrespective of whatever, I think what I think it needs to do, I think Gear 6 will end up being, I think they've confirmed it's going to be open world, which is sad for me. But in terms of tonally, I think they will make it more serious. They'll make it hopefully more violent and a little bit more weighty. So less floaty combat and movement. But I'm actually very, like I was a bit anemic on Gears, but now it's been a while. I'm really excited to see the visual spectacle of what, because the coalition are on there. They're at the top. So we'll get to see. I don't know what it is. I mean, it's going to be pulling out games from thin air. I don't know what the announcement's going to be. I don't want to overhype it as well because we've been doing that for 3 years. So I want to see anything that's a nice surprise. Even one game from Xbox will be good. Maybe ABK suite of what you were saying, like COD on Game Pass. Could be that.
Yeah, I'm sort of giving next week's video away a little bit because I was going to do like top 5 Game Pass, not Game Pass predictions, Game Awards predictions. But I had Starfield DLC on my list. I wonder if we might see the first of what Shattered Space might contain, or potentially a little bit of an update about when we might see mods and content creation club content come to Starfield. I'm not sure.
Oh, I think it'll be a bit early for that.
Maybe. I think you're right.
Yeah.
It'd be nice.
Yeah, now we'll see. The final topic, Sony's just doubling down on GAAS. Sony Interactive Entertainment has signed a strategic global business partnership with Korean MMO giant NCSoft. It will include mobile. Not many details, but Jim Ryan came out of being fired. He got rehired to sign this deal. Huggy, you said he was fired. And he came back in his pajamas. And he signed the deal in pictures. What do you say to that?
Forgot to revoke his door pass, and he snuck in and just started signing these wild GAAS deals.
He just came in and said, I'm going to fuck PlayStation up one more time. Yeah, boop. That's it. Sign this shit. Now you're fucked, PlayStation. They've done this. What do you think about this, Asa? Do you think this deal, like NCSoft, someone was sharing some gameplay of it. The pony suddenly had a mass realization of GAAS games and they said it was going to be good. Do you think it's going to be good? What do NCSoft do? Will it be positive? What's your take?
So not a lot was really said about what this deal entails and what they're supposed to deliver, but as far as we already knew, NCSoft were already working with the Horizon IP for the GAAS game that we know that they're making with that. Whether the deal extends beyond that or not, it's anybody's guess. Whether NCSoft are going to make anything that we like as console gamers and PC gamers and all the rest of it, hard to say. But we know that Sony are trying to push out beyond the PlayStation audience, and this is just a step in that direction. I don't really know what it's gonna yield as far as we're concerned.
I actually like the idea of a Horizon MMO, even though I think Halo is dry, but an MMO in that world with robots and stuff with other players in there, I think that would be really cool. That would pull me into Horizon's universe. Definitely.
Oh, did you play Horizon Zero Dawn or not?
I played Zero Dawn. I didn't complete it.
The new
Horizon Forbidden West. I've had the game, tried it a bit. I thought this is dry as fuck.
Well, but that's what you might get in the MMO too.
I don't think. It depends. We don't even know what the gameplay.
I mean, if you think about it, like
the shared experience elevates stuff a lot, and that's one thing I would tell people about Suicide Squad. I feel like you don't write it off based on the way it just looks. You might find that the elevated experience with cooperatively could be really good. Don't write it off.
I'm not excited about the total narrative of the game. You know, of course, like with an MMO, you're playing with other people and stuff, so it might be a bit different there. But combat is still not great against humans in the game. And I got a little tired of fighting those robots. So I don't know how long the longevity of that. I don't know. They'll have to ask Bungie on that once they start creating it.
Yeah.
You know, well, maybe Bungie can turn it down and say, I don't see. It doesn't have legs.
NCSoft would be like, what the fuck? Yeah. Who are these guys? Why are they constantly pissing on our cornflakes? Are you excited about this deadly Horizon MMO?
No, I think so. A Horizon MMO could be interesting. I think, like I said earlier, I have sort of a more broader concern about Sony's GAAS approach, because I think it's I think it will end up alienating their audience that they've garnered, and I mean, there's also a lot of risk attached to it as well. So I know, like, I've been quite vocal about wanting Factions 2. I was really excited for Factions 2, and I'm really sad that it's gone away, and I don't think it's coming, and I would really like it to. A Horizon MMO sounds cool. It's got to do it right.
I think the thing is, I think people are writing off PlayStation a little bit too much on the GAAS stuff. Yes, I get their early struggles, and they've really kind of leaned in heavily into the single player thing because it worked for them. But I think eventually, when Sony do the GAAS right, they will have a great GAAS game. So
I still think that they could do it right. I think too.
I would be more excited. I'm more excited than ponies are about the GAAS pivot.
I think that Factions 2 would be good. I want to see the Division with zombies and a more crafted, beautiful but horrifying world that Naughty Dog do really, really well. And I am gutted that it looks like the plug has been pulled on that, because I think, especially with the success of the show as well, and that being a big driver into, like, I know people personally who have gone, I want to get a PlayStation again because I've watched The Last of Us series and gone, fuck, that game looks good, or that was so good on PS3, let's play a remade version of it, because I haven't touched it in X amount of years. And I think that The Last of Us as an IP would actually be a really strong footing for a service-based game.
I don't think it's dead. I think it'll come back.
You think so? I hope so. I really do. I really do hope so. I want factions.
Longer than we think, but I think factions still exist.
I hope so.
It's on the back
Horizon,
burner,
though.
for sure.
Like, I'm probably the only one of the four of us that really does like Horizon. I went into the first one not expecting to like it and came away really impressed after getting through it. And I really like the second one as well. The potential for an MMO in that world, you can see like two versions of reality, where there's one where they pursue like a serious tone. They go, not World of Warcraft isn't the most serious, but they go for a proper in-depth MMO competing with Elder Scrolls Online, World of Warcraft, and that kind of things. And there's another world where they go, actually, let's chase that Genshin Impact money and have a very different kind of experience. And that's where I suspect they're going with it. You could have such a cool, like, serious MMORPG that's like archery and high fantasy and robot dinosaurs lends itself to doing really cool things. I'm just not sure that's the direction they're going to go when they're chasing the money, but I can hope.
Horizon 1 was cool. I actually really enjoyed Horizon 1. I bounced off of Forbidden West. I think there was quite a lot to play. And actually, I remember I got sick of Aloy. GAAS, you kind of ruined Aloy for me because I couldn't unhear it. After he kept on talking about how much Aloy pissed you off, I couldn't unhear it. And every time I went back to Forbidden West, so
she reminded me,
just stop talking.
She talked a lot, but she was as dry as the main character in Watch Dogs 1. That guy, he was really dry. God. Yeah, and he's like, he didn't talk that much, but he just kind of similar kind of vibes. She started off really well on Horizon Zero Dawn, actually. Then she just got dry. Didn't have that much depth in her character. Harry Borsak says, as someone who likes women, I think Horizon is a great franchise. We don't hate it as a woman.
That's hilarious.
You guys are hilarious. No. Look, I want serious, big, like, MMOs done right. I don't know why this space has not seen anything serious since World of Warcraft, really. And, like, there's so many ways you can take MMOs, and I'm so annoyed. And I don't like.
You're right. You're right.
Older. Like,
I would love a good MMO, especially to hit console as well. You know,
I want to see what's going on with that Dune.
I'm still holding on to Huxley. If anyone knows what that is,
no, I don't know.
Fucking holding on to that on consoles and Unreal Engine, first person. MMORPG.
Nothing has ever got me like Destiny got me in the beginning, and even with the start of Destiny 2, I was still high on it. I was playing on two different consoles, and remember at that time it wasn't crossplay, so I had thousands of hours on both consoles. And,
my Destiny at one time was so high.
And my point in saying this though
wasn't what it should have been.
Is that as much as I loved playing that game, nothing has ever grabbed me quite as much as World of Warcraft. Like that game was like crack in the beginning.
Bro,
all the way through the Lich King, I was just compelled to play that day and night. Like,
that game was insane. Chaos Lounge says you don't see Final Fantasy 14 as a huge MMO. I'm talking about it in terms of like the scope and ambition. Since World of Warcraft, all these games like your Guild Wars and that was a lesser MMO and no subscription cost, but even with Final Fantasies, from what I've seen, nothing comes close to World of Warcraft.
I've said the same thing that Serv just said. A good State of Decay MMO would be rad. Yeah,
bro, that's exactly what everyone imagines when they say State of Decay 3. And it's an MMO version of what we got.
Because could you imagine like fighting other factions, fighting real people out there and taking their stuff, taking over their things and bringing it to your camp? And
it's basically the Walking Dead movie series, the TV series, but the MMO version of that, persistent world, whatever. And you have your own base and other humans are there. that's what we want. And the Division let me down because it gave this impression of this persistent world, and then you pick up and scavenge for water bottles and this stuff, and then there's enemy real players there, but that was relegated to the dark zones, and then they became segmented. Like Destiny was this complete compartmentalization of the MMO elements of what was essentially a shared world shooter, and I felt like that was not what you sold to us. Then I'm so bitter because I remember exactly what they were saying, well, not exactly, but quite clearly what the Bungie was pitching with Destiny 1. Like the massive worlds, huge like worlds that you share and explore together, like your ships customized, not fucking loading screens.
Imagine having like 10 of your friends, and you just going out and doing all that kind of stuff, like raiding camps, destroying camps, taking people out and bringing all their stuff to your base. And at the same time, you've got the zombies, and stuff that are around. And it would be
that'd be
so much fun.
Incredible.
So much fun.
So that's what I want. I want to be lost in that kind of one game. This game, like Asa, I want to get your view on this. Star Citizen, that game, like they have, it's been an alpha for years. Everyone says it's a scam. People have played it, say it's good. Luke still plays it a lot, says it's beautiful. The game is incredible. The scale of that game is ridiculous. But Star Citizen, if you've seen the latest, not even the campaign stuff, they released a video showing what this engine can do, and it looked incredible.
It was fucking nuts. That looks
insane. Most of it, which you can do now, by the way. It's more like a tech demo, but I'm looking at that and I'm just thinking, you know what? I have to admire the sheer ambition of this game. Oh, Asa, you're such a G. I don't know how you pulled it out so quick, but Star Citizen looks so incredible. This is like, in many ways, it kind of makes, now everyone's going, you're comparing it to Starfield, but in many ways, it hits the right elements of what space games are about. This like traveling, no loading screens into the planet atmosphere, the scaling of the game, volumetric clouds, vegetation, deforming water, physics, the ship details persistently inside the ship, the shit animations of the fucking doors and shit like that. This game, man, looks incredible. Asa, why you've got Beast 4090? Are you not interested in trying this? You could do it now. I would love to see what your thoughts are on this. You might like this.
I very rarely do I play things before launch, like early access alphas and betas and things like that. Typically, I'm interested, but I'm quite restrained. And when a game comes out and is complete, then I want to play it. If I've been dabbling with it in the meantime, then it just kind of lessens the experience when it comes out because I have to repeat myself and all that kind of stuff. For that reason, no, I'm not playing it at every stage of development along the way because I think I'll just diminish my own fun if I do. But it does look amazing, and maybe it'll come out one day.
People play it, and they're saying it is GAAS. The people who play it say, mate, most of this, apart from some of the features like the water or whatever, most of this is in-game. This is them doing it supposedly live. Like, all this detail is live. What you're seeing in that planet, the sun's bouncing off the volumetric clouds, all this right now is live. Sorry, people listening on podcasting platforms, other than Spotify, you may not know what you're talking about. We've got the Star Citizen trailer playing. But this looks fucking phenomenal, man. Ranting Greek Gamer says it will never come out. But it is an alpha. But look at the scale of this fucking game. Look at the detail of this game. And it's just so fundamentally crazy. Now, I don't think this MMO that I'm asking for needs to even be remotely this detailed. But the thing of why I bring this up is because Star Citizen, apparently next year, the campaign looks insane. They've got incredible cast, actual actors hired for that. They're in the polishing phase of this game.
I'm going to interrupt you really quickly, guys, because I'm watching this trailer on screen at the moment, and the way that it's zooming in and out of buildings and across the planet's surface, and I'm well impressed. This is definitely powered by the PlayStation's SSD.
It's gotta be, man. It's too good.
Sorry, carry on with what you're saying.
If someone in chat has played it, let us know. Mr. Tox said he spent $24 on it. I have Mr. Tox says you have it. He just doesn't like the movement. Some of the animation stuff looks really stilted. But apparently, traveling on this rail thing will take some time. I don't know if that's fun, but I admire the ambition. But the sheer scale, it gets crazier. The more you see this, the crazier it gets, and it's just incredible.
I've watched quite a bit of Star Citizen, and yeah, you're right. It does look really incredible, but it seems like way too ambitious. Like,
I'm glad this exists. I'm glad someone has taken that ambition. But think about this, just this backdrop, yeah. But scale it down. Mass Effect. Imagine MMO Mass Effect. You have a crew of 4 people, different whatever. You have your Citadel, which is like World of Warcraft or Grimmer or Ironforge, wherever, if you're Alliance or Horde. You go in there. You have your auction house, like you have in World of Warcraft. You have the same equivalent in Mass Effect. Actual economy in the game, because people are, bro.
Do you get the bot farmers too? To buy the gold?
You definitely do. You definitely will. The trading palladium farmers, bot farmers, getting that. Give us an MMORPG like that, man. World of Warcraft did it 25, 30 years ago. Come on, man. Mass Effect like that. Trading with other people, have an auction house, sell stuff there. Bro, I remember I was farming some shit and I just undersold the shit out of it. And people DM me, why are you fucking selling it so low? Like, you're fucking up everything. I'm like, fuck you, man. Because I want to be a bitch like that. I'm for the free market economy. And then one day I was standing over a bank and I was just firing fireworks that I collected. I don't know why, but for 3 hours, I was just firing them manually. And I'm just screaming, like, let's get a horde of us ready to raid the Alliance. It's like the Xbox versus the ponies. I've always been so territorial about that.
You know what I see in this... Bro, You know what I see in this trailer? A whole lot of nothing, right? You see beautiful landscape and stuff, but there's nothing within. It's dead.
Yeah.
The occasional person will be here, you know?
The thing is, it looks really beautiful, but it's not, there's not much.
It's not lived in.
Not much there. It's not, It's like Kim Kardashian's ass. There's a lot of silicone there. And there's a lot of silicon here, like digital silicon. It looks really nice, but there's not much of a game there. But the single player campaign, that looks really impressive in terms of the story, in terms of the visuals. That will be a big point. Hopefully we get to see it next year, but it might be delayed indefinitely. I would not vouch for Star Citizen. No chance. I can say it looks good, but whatever. I want games to take some risks, man. No one's doing it. No one's doing it in the AAA space. I feel like I'm sounding like a madman, but all I'm asking for, like even World of Warcraft version of fucking Mass Effect.
Do you really have time for that kind of time sink?
If the game gives me that, I will definitely devote time to it. But nothing is out there. I'm kind of grateful, I guess. Gonna sample loads of little.
That's how I am too. If it's really quality, if it's really a good game, I'll sit there and I'll play it for many, many hours. Like,
but life goes like this. We only have a few more years. God, it's like, who knows? We could die tomorrow. But in terms of your gaming experience, guys, you have say 10 years left or 20 years left or 30 years left on this planet. In terms of your gaming habits, what do you want to do? Do you want to spend playing multiple experiences, or do you want to be sucked into an incredible gaming experience with your friends and have some of the best gaming moments in my life have been stories that I can recount in playing games like World of Warcraft or co-op experience, or Left 4 Dead comes to mind when I had these hilarious moments. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, or Halo so many times. Halo 1 story campaign, Halo 2
You lost me at Left 4 Dead, but all right.
Left 4 Dead was a very unique one because it was just a very unique experience because me and 3 of my other mates didn't know what it was about. We said, there's 4-player co-op, should we just get it? Had no idea what it was about. We knew it was zombies.
I thought you were equating it to an MMO. I thought
no. It was just a unique case where it was so funny. If you recorded it, I swear the video would have gone viral because we didn't know what it was about. Imagine 4 guys was buying this game, boot it at the same time, party chat, go in it, and I kid you not, 4 grown men just screaming like little girls. Like, what the fuck? There's like, we didn't know. It was just, what is going on? Oh shit, there's a witch. What is that sound? Yeah. It was such a natural experience of what the game developers wanted you to experience the game as. If Valve ever recorded that, they said that would be the perfect pitch for the game. And we experienced a game like the developers intended it to, which says a lot about how much we spoil our fun by looking into things so much. And as part of our hobby and doing the YouTube space, you always look into the details of it, right? So you have to know about the game to talk about it. But yeah, that was a weird moment. Sorry, I'm just talking crazy. Will you give every game 10 years to pull this off? Says Mr. Too Opinionated. Which game? To pull what off? The game that we're talking about?
Yeah, Star Citizen.
Star Citizen?
Yeah, or Scam Citizen, as a lot of people call it.
Bro, it's been in what, for God knows how many years?
It's also made a lot of money. It's also taken a lot of people's money.
Like over 600 million or something stupid, almost $1 billion now.
Which makes its budget like not as much as Grand Theft Auto 6, right? So it's not like out of the realms of normal in that sense.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
It's definitely out of the realms of normal in terms of a Kickstarter project. I'm not saying this is like standard. Every game gets 600 million in 10 years or whatever, but it's not the big outlier that it was seen as a few years ago.
Definitely. They're aiming for a lot. We're seeing it being built over a period of time. That takes away the fun for me because it's nice to be presented with something immediately off the bat and like, whoa. It still does that now, but you can still see some of the still animations. You can still see like bits that haven't come in there. So it's like, but you know, the game that we're talking about, I don't think that's even that fucking ambitious. They shouldn't even have that budget. I don't know why game developers don't do that. Or maybe one day it's better off maybe making a video to explain what that means because everyone's like, guys, you're just rambling. But yeah, I'm just a bit disappointed in the AAA space in terms of ambition. I feel like I keep saying this. Hopefully not.
It's complicated because we've seen discussion about the AAA space specifically where it used to be a 3-year turnaround and it's not anymore. It's more like 4 or 5.
It's definitely 5.
And budgets are just going up and up and up because we have more toys that we can play with. We can push everything further, and when you push everything further, you need more time to make sure that it's delivered properly, and it sort of becomes this sort of self.
What are they pushing further, Deadly? I don't see the things that they're pushing further. I don't see massively transformative physics, visually to some degree. AI, no. What are we looking at?
Lighting. I would like to see a bigger push with AI, but ideally not taking away from jobs, and I include actors in that.
I was also, Gaz, like specific to you though, like if Gears of War 6 came out and it had the same boss fight repeated 3 or 4 times or something like that, because this is where the money goes in. If you want unique art, unique animations for all of these things going through the game, but you'd expect that because that's the standard that's been set now. And the result of that is that the price of making these games is going up and up and up and up and up, and the cost, like the risk of those failing, is too much for most publishers. And this is where we will hope that Game Pass kind of mitigates a lot of that risk because it does change the dynamic and the need to sell games. So hopefully we can see some variation. But I don't think you would be happy if the development cost went down on Microsoft's games, as an example. Like, you want this, don't you? You want them to be that level that Sony are pushing.
Yeah. I do.
I'm interested to see how. I don't know if the scope has changed at all, but Perfect Dark was touted as being a quadruple A game from the initiative.
That's long gone.
Yeah,
that's long
think so.
That's just, you'd be lucky if that's a good, decent AAA game at this point, in my opinion. I don't have high hopes for that. I'm tempering my expectations with that one. We'll see. I don't know, man. But there's a game that's out right now. I really want to play it, but I'm waiting for it to stream. I think we should do it together. There's this like a first-person game on PC where people have torches and solving puzzles, and like the monsters come out of nowhere. That looks so cool, man. That game is see, this is the thing with proximity chat and stuff like that. It's a simple concept. It takes the what's that game where you had to find one of your mates was the culprit? Like, what was that game? Like 2D
Among Us.
Among Us, yeah, that's it. It takes that almost that element of communication, and you have to communicate with your friends. And the videos that people are churning out are brilliant. Not what was the game called? Asa?
Lethal Company.
Lethal Company. Lethal Company looks hilarious, man. I would, bro, if we played it together, bro, Fonz, you would be fucking hilarious in this game. Playing with you.
Like shit, bro.
Bro, fuck you. Just listen to me.
I don't know, man.
Bro, stop looking so
hard sell.
Vain. I guarantee it. Okay, chat. My PC shit right now, but I would play this with you, Fonz. I will buy it for you. I guarantee you will fucking have a hilarious time. Don't even look into it. Just promise me a time and date, chat. You would love to see
So
this.
if I close my eyes and just play the game, I might be able to enjoy it.
just go in blind and then open your eyes to play the
like
game.
A PS2 game.
And bro, listen, when you play this, I guarantee there's gonna be hilarious stories. In fact, this is like the Left 4 Dead for me. I'm gonna get you, Colt, Deadly, all of you, anyone, Ace, someone just fucking.
What do I play that on the Switch?
Huh?
Switch, right?
No, you need something that actually has voice. You have to communicate in this game. It's supposed to be fucking hilarious. I really want to play this game. I was just waiting for it to start streaming.
It's absolutely massive. GAAS isn't wrong when he compares it to Among Us. This is like the Colt fire at the moment. It's only like $10 or something. It's £8.50 over here. So
what is what's the objective though? What are you doing?
Don't know. I've not played it.
Yeah,
I just know that it's like,
don't look into it.
It's fire at the moment. One of the few games that my children have played.
It looks like it's
not on
fire,
Game Pass,
sure.
but I play this. Yeah, overwhelmingly positive on Steam with a whole lot of sales. It's just blown up out of nowhere.
And the videos I've seen of people doing this screaming, and this is hilarious. The graphics look shit. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't look pretty. There's no settings in it. It's very rough around the edges, but it is, like GAAS says, very much focused on the proximity chat and hilarity that comes around it. So it plays with the voice chat quite a lot in terms of like applying like reverb and distance and things like that. It's proximity chat taken up a notch, and it is supposed to make it. And I'm saying this without any first-hand experience. I've just been listening to ACG talking about it. It's supposed to be pretty funny.
Oh man, we need to do that.
Anything could be fun with friends, honestly. Like I used to play Uno back in the day on the Xbox. It's fun with friends.
Yeah. Oh, wait, isn't Baldur's Gate a co-op game?
I play co-op, yeah.
Yeah, you can play co-op.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know how that works, but that's something I'd like
to turn-based, so you're basically waiting your turn.
Okay.
Well, it's deadly headly, so you can play it drop in, drop out, but you shouldn't. So you can like invite people to take over a character in your campaign if you want, but if you want to do it properly, like a Dungeons and Dragons campaign, then you start together and you create characters at the beginning and you stick it through, which is how I'm playing it every Tuesday and Friday, very, very slowly, which is why I haven't finished the game yet. But
yeah,
then a Dungeons and Dragons campaign can do that. So. I remember around the launch of Baldur's Gate 3, it was ACG again was talking about it. He's got Dungeons and Dragons actual tabletop campaigns. I've always been slightly interested in getting into that, and you were saying before we started, Deadly Headly, that you just started a campaign recently with your friends over Discord, and I've always looked at that and thinking, well, this is properly nerd stuff that I know I should be interested in. I don't have a group of people that would do that. But then ACG was saying that he's had a game that's been running for 22 years and another one that's been running for 17 years, and I was just like, nope, I don't think I've got enough life left to play a proper Dungeons and Dragons. So Baldur's Gate 3, Tuesdays and Fridays.
A Dungeons and Dragons game that's going for God, how many years? That's insane.
That is insane. My older brothers used to play it all the time in the 80s, but yeah, I don't think they played for months sometimes, some of those games, but not years.
Mad.
It's insane.
That is mad. That's crazy. Well, gents, it has been an incredible show. This was fun. It's just talking about random shit. It's been not random shit. We talked about featured topics.
Shit.
So it's good.
It was all about games.
Yeah, man. It's just a good year for games. I didn't ask at the start what games you've been playing. Asa, what have you been playing?
I don't know. I can't remember the week just gone. It's getting late now. Loads of stuff. It's all been
Baldur's
brilliant.
Gate. He's played a little Baldur's Gate. I saw that.
Yeah.
What about you? You've been playing Baldur's Gate as well, Fod.
Baldur's Gate. Anytime I get some free time, that's what I'm doing. Baldur's Gate. Yeah. It's incredible. Yeah. I'm doing 2 playthroughs right now. It's that good.
I will try it when it comes out.
And when it comes on Xbox, I'm going to do a 3rd. For sure.
That's a lot of time devoted to that game.
It's so good, man. It's worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. Fair enough.
I'm looking forward to picking it up when it comes out on Xbox. I could get it on PS5. I play most of my multiplats on Xbox. And actually, someone in the chat said something earlier, and they were saying, like, how do you play your multiplayer games on PS5 if you don't have PS Plus? I don't have PS Plus. I don't want PS Plus. And if I want to play multiplayer games, I'll play them on Xbox because that's where I play.
Oh, okay, fair enough. What have you been playing?
Halo Infinite. I've been playing a lot of Halo Infinite. I'm loving that. I'm probably going to jump on that after this, because I downed a monster about 2 hours ago, and I'm still pumped, still going. I've dipped back into Starfield because that is still calling my name. I've just showed up to the Red Mile for the first time because I didn't touch that on my first playthrough. I never did.
Really? Nice.
Yeah, what was it? The faction that you join, the Freestar Collective one.
Is it the one right there?
Like the law enforcement guys, basically.
No, not the one in space. I did join that one as well.
Yeah, so I've started doing that because I didn't do that on my first playthrough. So yeah, in New Game Plus, and still enjoying that. But yeah, I'm loving Halo at the moment. I dipped my toe into Remnant 2, so I want to get back into that as well. But yeah, there's so much to play.
There's so much, man.
I still need to. I need to crack on with Phantom Liberty, but I can't find the time to do that.
Exactly right.
There's so many games.
This year's crazy.
It's such a good year.
I need to go back to Alan Wake, but I'm too much of a pussy to play that because it's at night. It's the jump scares the shit out of me. But the game is beautiful, and it's making me want to get into Control, which I stopped playing. It's not for everyone, and gameplay-wise, it's not exactly the best. In fact, it reminds me of what I didn't like about Quantum Break in many ways. But the story is so intriguing.
It is a Remedy game. Yeah,
it is a Remedy game, but it's a combination of all these stories and shared world experiences. I feel special. The narrative is enough to keep pushing me for so far. So that's a really good game. Halo Infinite I've been playing. Today I just dipped into COD, played a game, then I went to Halo and back to multiplayer again. Then I played the Suicide Squad. But there's so many games, man. Like, it's such a good year for games, and the backlog leading forward. I still haven't completed Jedi Survivor. I need to freaking play that as well. It's fixed now, apparently.
I'm at the very end of that game. I need to beat it. I stopped playing it at the very end because of the performance issues. But they fixed it.
Might as well just get out of the way. Just finish it.
I should just finish it. Yeah.
It's apparently fixed. The 60 FPS shit. All of that.
I heard. I literally have maybe a half an hour left in that game.
RoboCop. Oh, fuck. Colt bought that as well. RoboCop is supposed to be a great game.
Yeah, I've heard good things.
Sea of Stars. Yeah, I've seen that. Sea of Stars. Why is Sea of Stars, man?
What do you do in that one?
It's a isometric, old school looking RPG.
Oh,
is it?
Okay.
Another time sink though. Then. Okay. That's going to be big.
Jusant is lovely. If you haven't played that, Jusant's really nice. I need to finish it.
Jusant, yeah, nice. I've heard about that. Rand liked that one a lot.
Yeah. The climbing controls are really interesting. So you use the left and right triggers to control your left and right hands to like scale up walls and stuff. It's a really cool game, and it's on Game Pass. I'd recommend checking that out. It's not a big install either.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to be jumping into an older game that I've never played before, but was recommended to me by a friend, and I bought it on sale. It was like $4. Dragon's Dogma is the game.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna play through that in anticipation of Dragon's Dogma 2 next year. So
that's being being the Game of the Year contender.
Yeah, the new Dragon's Dogma looks incredible. But yeah, the old one's kind of dated. But if you play the PC version, at least you get 4K, 60 frames. You know, it helps.
Do I need to play those games to enjoy Dogma 3?
No, I'm sure you don't, but I heard it's a really good experience. So that's why I picked it up. $4 too. I can't go wrong.
I'm still fucking Persona. That was, I don't even know where my save is on PlayStation. It's probably gone. Don't even play PlayStation anymore. Persona was really good. Persona 5. There's so many games.
Just great,
bro,
man.
I'm still haven't completed Lost Odyssey.
So you've never finished a Final Fantasy game or Lost Odyssey?
Lost Odyssey? You did not beat that?
I was loving the games. There's just something happens with multiple. How do I do? Bro, I need. Bro,
you know what it is? You have ADD,
you can't
bro.
Do in life.
You're jumping around to game, and I can't do that. I've tried. It's too hard for me. You know what it is for me when I try to jump game to game? I forget about the controls, right? Like I'm playing one game for a while, then I go to another one. And it's like, wait, what do I do with that when I go back to it? It sucks. So I try to play one game at a time.
GAAS. It's simple. BG.
Yeah.
Bro, we can't do this podcast and not play the games when you're talking about this.
Yeah, you can.
Nah, man. How do you do that?
You get a guest that's playing the game, and you talk to them about
it. Then again, your view isn't informed as much as it could be for the entirety of the game because you're just surface level.
True, but at the same time, it's not a review; it's a podcast. You're talking about all games, and it's all good. People understand. And your camera battery's about to die. So good night, folks.
Oh shit! No. Yeah, BG says I do it.
BG's right though. Just play one at a time.
Yeah, maybe I should, man. Bro, if I do, it probably makes my life easier. It'll make my life easier. Right, chat. Patrick, thank you so much for the membership, chat, because that's a thanks for a great show, Asa Fons Headley. GAAS, you were adequate. That's what she said. Damn it.
GAAS is always adequate.
Before my battery dies, Jeds, thank you so much for incredible show. Asa, what is in store? Tell the peoples. You know how it is.
I don't know any more than I know what happened last week. There'll be games and things, some more reviews coming from my channel soon. And I'll be here again next week, right? So, yeah, that's what's coming up. Thank you, Deadly Headley, for a fantastic debut. Like, held that really well, and fun.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. It's this has been really, really awesome, and I want to say thank you actually for the work that you guys do and the effort that you've put in to build this platform and your community. Because actually, without it, I don't think I'd be here either. Because you guys have introduced me to a bunch of content creators and a bunch of awesome people that have made me want to get involved and step up and find a platform and a voice and all that sort of stuff. And I wouldn't have done that if I didn't find your show. So I appreciate it a lot.
That's why I'm reading BG's chat as well. GAAS get a dummy battery and you won't have to...
It's exactly what I use, a dummy battery. Exactly. You plug
Everybody it does. Just to clarify that, you can, like, twit in the UK, you can just call him a twat. It's fine. We all do.
UK twit. Twat. I don't think that means a lot, man. It means a lot. And then you're incredible. You're off onto great things, man. So can't wait to see you flourish, man, in this space. Can't wait.
Thank you.
Fons, we need to see more of you, man. I keep saying I need to see.
Well, maybe you'd like that, but some of your chat wouldn't. But
fuck the chat. not sorry, but yeah,
no, not all of them. Not all of them. The chat's great. It's just a few guys out there who don't like contradicting opinions. I guess I don't know. It's weird. This space is just sometimes it can be really weird. Yeah, but I'm jealous. I'm jealous of something. I'm jealous that you got Deadly before I did on my show. So
yeah.
We'll make it out.
Deadly, we will definitely have a great show together. But no, GAAS, it's Asa too. Let me address Asa first because I talk to you all the time, GAAS. It's been a pleasure, Asa. You're awesome. I really love your insights, and you got me thinking about the other side today on a point that you made, and yeah, man, I really enjoy my time here. You guys are awesome. GAAS, of course, you're a great friend. Lots of love towards you, man. We've been friends now for years. It's great, man. It's great being here. I know I've been through a lot this year, but you were there for me big time, and I appreciate that. And I wanted to say that out loud because without friends like you and Colt and Dealer, man, it would have been tough.
No, I know you've gone through a lot as well, man. And likewise, man, I echo the same thing, man. Appreciate it, man. We need to see more of you.
Yep,
and have sex.
Appreciate you guys.
Jonathan
not that far. No, thanks.
Thank you so much.
I like women's like that ball sack guy does in the chat.
Yeah, well, you don't like Horizon though. Janice the dad, thank you so much to end the show. It says great show, great panel, great fun. Hit that like button. Yes, please do hit that like button on the way out. I know I've been talking about my channel relaunch, but it's almost there. I'm not even going to give you a date, but you're going to get a countdown very soon. It's almost there. It's going to be something I don't think anyone has done in this space, but you might think it's shit. I don't know. We'll see. Hit the like button on the way out, and we'll see you guys next week. Thank you so much, everyone. Great show. Take care.